medic, I think. Or easier to go without an officer
Yep.
and without a medic.
Do we need an officer?
No, you don't need an officer, but I'm sure that they all have their benefits, for sure. So, yeah, so we got our characters. So we got Frederick Mason, who is a machine gunner. Jonesy, which is the grunt, the workhorse, and we have JC, which is the medic. And as I was just saying, I don't fully understand balance of this game yet. This is my first attempt at running this game, so it's going to be a learning experience for all of us. But where this is a more core rule set, I just wanted to go through how the mechanics work and how you roll your dice, so it's easy to understand. So what I'll ask you guys to do is just to open up your character sheet, and I'll just go through the 6 main columns to look at. So the way this game works is, or the way attributes and skills work is, you have your attribute skill, which is given a grade, and the grade runs from level A, or letter A, down to F. So when we were in high school, what does the F mean?
Fun to be around.
Fun to be around, but not very useful. So the way it works is that your stats are graded in these letters, and these are your classes. So if you look at your character sheet, you'll see that you have your 4 attributes. You have strength, agility, intelligence, and empathy. Each of these attributes are given a grade, and these grades are related to dice rolls. So for example, a strength D is a D6. Strength, or a level C is a D8. A level B is a D10, and a level, or letter A, is a D12. To succeed in anything, you roll your dice, and you have to get a 6 or higher to be successful. All right. So that's as simple as that. So, for example, if I was looking at, I'll use Yig as the example. So Yig, you have, let me see, you have range combat. If you look at your range combat,
Yep.
you have an agility of B, right?
Yep.
And your range combat skill is a D. So every stat, except for the heavy weapons and the range combat, because they're a little different, they have two numbers in front of them. The first number will always be your attribute number, and the second number will always be your skill number. So for example, if you look at your agility, during the game, I'm going to say you may, if there's no positives or no bonuses or no negatives to the skill, say it's just a straight up roll, you will roll your 2 dice, your attribute dice and your skill dice. So for JC Allen, for Yig, his attribute is a 10, and his range combat will be a D, which is a 6. And then he's going to roll the dice. The third number in any of the range combat is for your ammunition. That's the red dice. So the way modifiers work is that modifiers can add up. There's negative modifiers and there's positive modifiers. If I was to give you a plus, when I tally them all up, say if the total tally is a +1, you would upgrade one of your skills, one of those numbers, up to the next level of dice. But you always upgrade the highest level. So if you have like Yig has right now a 10 and a 8 in his mobility. If I was to give him a +1, his highest number, which is going to be the 10 in this case, goes up to a 12. If he has more than that, then it rolls over to your lower dice and it raises that one up. So you always max out your highest dice first, and then you raise up your other dice first. Am I kind of making sense?
I get it.
All right. Now, negative modifiers work in the other way. Negative modifiers reduce your lower dice first until it removes it completely, and then it goes to your higher number, and then it reduces that one down to the different steps until it's at its final number. The lowest modifier you'll ever have is you're only ever going to be able to roll 1d6. But you'll always be able to roll the dice, but it will only just be a 1d6. Now, your higher level skills in your Bs and your As, they have special abilities. If you roll a 10 or higher on a d10 or a d12, they actually count as 2 successes. Because you're always trying to roll successes. The more successes, the better. So if you roll 2d6s, the most successes you'll ever get is 2. But if you roll like a d10 or a d12, you have the potential of getting up to 4 successes on 2 dice. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, 1s are bad. 1s are always bad. And if you roll 2 1s on any dice at all, you have a mishap. Something bad happens. Okay, you try to avoid that. If you ever fail a roll, which is just rolling the dice, and you don't get any successes whatsoever, you can decide to push, and that means you re-roll it again. You re-roll your dice. And if you pass, well then you pass, but if you fail, you're going to take some damage. And if it's a physical skill, you're going to take physical damage. If it's a mental skill, you're going to take stress damage. So, my very last thing, and we'll learn it as we go, is your rate of fire. For weapons, for the heavy weapons section and for the range combat section, there's a third column, and that third column is your ammunition. So if everyone is just to roll their range combat, just everyone roll their range combat. Doesn't matter what the numbers are. Alright. So Frederick, you had... Okay. Okay, so what happened here? In Jonesy's roll, he rolled his 2 skill dice, and then he rolled 6 ammunition dice. So right now he failed because he got a mishap. He failed and he got a mishap because he never rolled any 6s. But if we were to fire a weapon, your weapon has a rate of fire, and that's the number of dice that you roll. So whenever you fire a gun, you need to roll at least 1d6 up to its maximum rate of fire. So for most of you, you have a rate of fire of 6 because you're firing an M16. I think Frederick's is a little higher. He has a rate of fire of 6 as well. But
that's under heavy. For Frederick, it's heavy weapons, right?
That's right. Yeah, he would roll heavy weapons. But when you count off your ammunition, the total ammunition that you fired is the sum of all the red dice. So you can burn through a magazine of ammo really fast if you're not careful. So you want to be very alert to what your ammunition is. Okay? At the very top of the page, you'll see a section there called Attacks. And I pretty much got everyone's weapon there just so they know what it does. If you were to score a hit, you do the base damage to an individual. For every extra success that you roll, you add a point of damage to it. And say for the light machine gun, you have a crit zone of 3. So if you do more than 3 points of damage, or 3 or more points of damage, you actually do a critical on someone. Okay? So that's the very basics. This game is very simple. Rolling dice is only if it's like important. So if something critical can happen, because if I tell you to roll the dice, or you decide, hey, I want to roll my dice and do something, if you don't succeed, something bad's going to happen. So we'll save the dice rolling for when you guys will think it's absolutely necessary, right? So there's a lot of role play back and forth. If you want to try to force something in your favor, say if you're having a conversation with someone, you can try to persuade someone. Well, then you can roll the dice. But if you fail, I may say you just totally pissed off the person that you were trying to talk to. Whatever. All right. So there's different things that we need to be aware of. So yeah, everyone is wearing basic flak vest, or a basic jacket, which any damage done to the torso, you have a bit of armor, and you also are all wearing helmets. All right. The rest we will learn as we go, and we'll figure it out. Is there any questions before we get started?
So I have mobility under agility, which is a class C.
Yep.
And I've got a 10 and an 8, but on my range combat, which is a B, I have three sixes.
Yeah, that's because like the numbers change as you're playing, right? So it's whatever the last dice roll that you roll, that's what's going to show. So what you need to do is when I tell you it's going to be what the changes is, you kind of reset it to what your base skill is, and then you make your adjustments after that.
Okay, so you can actually edit the number in each of the boxes.
Yeah. So what I do, the way I handle it, if you hold your alt, put your mouse button over, or your mouse pointer over top of it, hold your. For me, I got my alt key, but you can mouse wheel up and down. Or sorry, your control key, sorry, and you can mouse wheel up and down to change your numbers really quick.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So I will say that combat in this adventure, in this system, is brutally deadly. All right, it's bad news. If you get to 0, you are incapacitated and you're out. But you can die, and you can die from taking critical wounds. And critical wounds is something that happens if you get hit and roll certain dice and whatever. So that's the damage part. Your stress is how well you're able to hold yourself together. Once you reach 0, you become a shell shocked, and you pretty much freeze up, and you're done. You're finished until someone can help you recover. All right. Okay. So the setting, Twilight 2000. In this particular adventure, in this setting, World War III is taken place, and it's been on the go for quite a while, and it's gotten really bad. Pretty much what happened, some side between the communist forces and the democratic forces, someone started firing nukes. Much of the world was affected. Europe was utterly decimated. US was decimated. Canada was decimated. Everybody was decimated. EMPs were taking place. Communications shut down. It's a complete and utter mess. This game takes place in the setting as the I'm going to say NATO forces are hoping to make a final assault onto the communist forces, and it's called Operation Reset. And during this operation, you guys are pushing through communist lines. You're making headway, and just as you start making headway, something happens that causes the whole push, the whole offensive to completely collapse on itself, and it's total chaos. All right. So this setting, it pretty much takes place right as that chaos is at its highest point. Nobody knows what's going on. There's no radio communication. It's bad news. Okay. So you guys were all members of an elite NATO task force that was operating out of Warsaw, Poland. And I'm going to bring up a map. and you guys were operating at a Warsaw polo, and this is where your staging point was for the offensive. Within the first several days, you managed to push about 30 miles, 40 miles past the river and into a city called Kalusin. I hope I said that right. It was here when the communist counteroffensive took place. And
should I be seeing something more that are just a red?
oh, it's
Might take a
probably
moment to load.
yeah, it could take
now.
a moment to load. So it was at this point in the counteroffensive, several days into it, that the communists pushed back, and your complete unit, your whole division, the whole unit was completely decimated, and the order to retreat back to the staging operation, to the staging point, cross the river, was your last order that you were able to hear on the radio. So in the panic, the three of you managed to find yourself an old civilian vehicle, an old Jeep, and you guys were able to try to escape the combat and retreat back towards the safety of the front lines. But as you were driving back, the vehicle that you had had a radiator leak, the engine seized, and the whole vehicle became kaput and pretty much died on the side of the road. You decided to, knowing that you still have several miles to go before you get to the river, you decided to wait till night before you start to head out again. So you were starting now at the side of a road in the dark, in the nighttime, and you know that you have to head home. So I'm going to bring up the map here now. So that was your vehicle that you managed to confiscate, and as you were, it kind of broke down underneath this old overpass. There were signs there of NATO and the U.S. saying thanks for saving us, but you guys are actually rushing away from this now, leaving the fate of the civilians into the hands of the communist forces that are probably going to retake this area. So add this to the... Just as you guys start to walk onto the road, you notice that the weather starts to change. And it starts to rain.
And we're trying to go generally east.
You're trying to... On the map you are, yeah. Yes, you are. You're trying to get to the eastern point.
I'm sorry, maybe I didn't pick that up. On the big map, where are we located?
You guys were located on the big map where the red circle was. That's where the offensive was taking place. That's where you managed to push into. So you're retreating back now to Warsaw.
Okay, so we're like in Kalushin, the center town on the road?
Yeah, you're just outside that now, trying to get away from it all.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we're trying to go west.
Yeah, but in the map, I just got you going from left to right, so don't worry about north and south.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't care about that. That's just in general terms.
Yeah. So it doesn't take you very long as you start walking. You're on the side of the road. And up ahead, you can see I'll bring it into the picture for you. You can see a vehicle that seems to be parked on the side of the road.
I suggest we fan out and approach it quietly and stealthily. And I would like to move over by the big rock to my left
Okay.
and take some cover there.
Is that you, Jonesy?
Yeah,
What is your role?
I'm a grunt.
Gotcha. Okay.
I carry an M16, and I think I've got a grenade.
Yep. Everyone's got a grenade and a couple of
Yep.
magazines.
I've got. Yep.
Type of magazines? We like Better Homes and Gardens or Popular Mechanics? M16.
That may feel like that's what you have now shortly. Who knows?
What's the scale of this map? Is it 5 meters per hex?
Roughly 10 meters.
10 meters per hex. Okay.
Yep. So the way this works is you guys know that there's something up ahead. As a team, you guys can do like a recon roll. You pick your person who has the best recon, and he's going to roll for everybody. And if you're successful, you can pretty much, depending on how close you want to get to it, you can move directly to that point if you kind of want to sneak up.
I've got a level C recon. How about y'all?
It's got a 8. Also a Charlie Recon.
Yeah, I'm a D, so I'm a no-go there.
Excuse me, I got a Franklin.
Okay, well, I guess
So
it's me.
So I would suggest that myself and Jay take up cover positions behind those boulders, and Jonesy will cover you while you go up and check out the vehicle.
Roughly how close
Okay.
would you like to get to the vehicle? How close would you like to try to get to it?
Well, I'll move up into these trees to the cover of these bushes or trees.
Those are just that's like actual trees, like a really dense forest.
I'll move up into the trees and stay under the cover of the foliage,
Okay.
like maybe as far as here, and take a look and study the vehicle, see if I see any movement inside or around the vehicle.
All right. So because it's raining, and because it's dark, I'm going to give you a +2 on your recon roll. So that means
And I'm, what, about 60 meters away from it?
roughly, yep.
Okay.
So if you look at your recon, it's 8 and 8, so you pretty much you get to make one of those a 12 because that's 2 steps up.
Okay.
And once you do
And then I
that,
click the
little dice icon, yep. Wow, so you got 3 successes.
woohoo!
Nailed it.
All right. So you can see that this is another. So you guys can move anywhere you want up to 5 inches or 5 hexes away from it if you want it. So the other 2 guys, right now at this point, you can move yourself to 5 hexes away. Anywhere 5 hexes away or more if you want it.
So Jonesy doesn't see any people or anything around the vehicle.
What it is, it's that. I'll describe it now, but you guys have up that choice right now. This is his recon move, but right now he can see that there is a vehicle abandoned there. There is in the dark. It's hard to tell, but he can see someone kind of like sitting next to the side of the vehicle outside by one of the wheels, and yeah, so that's all he sees. But you are in a good stealthy position right now, and you don't think that anyone has. You certainly haven't been spotted by anyone.
Do I see anything further down the road?
You do not. You do not see anything else.
Just the one individual.
Just the one individual, yep.
So I'm going to stay in cover and with my sights on that individual until Jonesy goes up and checks things out and be ready to return fire in case anything bad happens.
Okay. And what about JC? What's JC doing?
With my skills, I'm probably not so good at the long range stuff. So I want to try and move up closer, maybe to the tree line. Uh,
You can pretty much move anywhere up you want, up to about 5
there.
hexes away without problem.
See what's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could move like over here and still be able to see through the trees, or would it be better to be there to be able to see through the trees?
You should be. You'll be able to see through those trees. Yep. All right.
I'll move up stealthily. Look at that thing, it's getting big.
What does that red circle mean?
That's just one of the pointers. You
Oh,
can make pointers with fantasy guns. Would you prefer a cone instead?
Yeah, I just didn't know if that is what you were doing.
That's what
I'll
I
make
default
sure
to, but
Frederick has eyes on the individual as well.
All right.
Does he see him?
Yes, everyone sees that individual sitting now by the tire.
I'll be carrying my M16, but not pointing it at him.
Yep.
And I'll step out onto the road and approach.
All right. You're able to get yourself directly, if you wanted to, you can get yourself directly up to the vehicle, and you see no sign of any movement. You feel very confident that there's nobody around, and you feel that the area is somewhat secure. As you get closer, you can see that the person is right next to the front wheel on the side that you're on. He's laying there. He's kind of hunched over, sitting on his butt, and you see very little movement coming from him.
Any insignia, rank, uniform, anything like that?
He is a civilian from the way he's dressed. He looks like he's just like a normal individual who's he's just dressed normally.
What languages do I speak by chance?
Well, I would say that being American, you guys speak English, and the officer I would have allowed to speak Polish or Russian, but seeing there's no officer there, you guys are only English speaking.
Okay, I will level my gun, but not at him, but more like at his feet, so it's not a big reach to shooting.
Yep.
And say hello.
You hear like a grunt and a groan come out of his voice, from his voice.
I'll approach, make sure he doesn't have any weapons or any booby trap, grenades, or anything like that. Explosives on him.
Yeah, no, you don't see any indication of anything like that. He looks like a 100% pure civilian.
I have medical aid, which is a D skill.
Yep.
Can I inspect him to see if he's suffering from an injury or some other health problem?
Yeah, sure. If you wanted to, you can come up and have a look at him. Just roll.
Yeah, I'll kind of poke him with my gun first.
Yeah. He moans and groans.
See if he responds at all.
Yeah, he moans and groans, and he looks up at he barely raises his head, and his eyes are kind of glazed over, and you can tell he's not really looking at you, but he's looking at you, and he's like just moaning, and he's like in need of some desperate help.
I'll motion Jay to come forward. Since he's our doctor, I'll let him actually assess the patient while I cover him.
Okay.
I will approach.
So you guys can set yourselves up on the map any way you want, just to have you establish cover and your lines of fire and all that stuff if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm going to move up by that rock next to the vehicle and keep an eye out up and down the road.
Okay. So you got
And I'm standing next to the patient.
okay. All right, Yig. For you to help this guy, if you want to use your medical skill, it's a straight up medical skill. But if you look at your in your combat section there, you have a bonus. You have a specialty, and it's called combat medic, which gives you a +1 bonus.
So that's already baked in. I can just roll that combat medic.
No, it's not baked in. You got to bake it in yourself.
So how do I do that?
So what
Give
you
a
Yeah, so it gives where both your skills are the same. They're 10. You can increase any one of those to a 12, and then roll your dice.
I will increase the first number to a 12 and roll.
All right.
So that's one success.
That's one success, and you're able to patch him up enough. You can notice that he's got several gunshot wounds that are in his torso and his upper shoulder. He was bleeding pretty bad, and you managed to stop the bleeding. And he kind of starts to come around a bit, and he was like farther down the road, and he's kind of out of it right now, and he kind of just drifts off again.
I'll relay my findings to my comrades there, saying, yeah, he was bleeding pretty bad, multiple wounds. Got him patched up, but he's passing out on us.
Is the vehicle shot up at all?
When you looked at the vehicle, you can see that there are several rounds, bullet holes into the hoods and in through the front grille. The windshield is also peppered with bullet holes as well.
Are the keys in the ignition?
The keys are in the ignition, yep.
I will attempt to start the vehicle.
All right. It actually rolls over when you turn the ignition. It rolls over. The engine sputters up, and then it cuts out pretty quickly. Like it doesn't seem to catch. And after a few
Anybody know
times,
anything about vehicles? Is there a mechanic skill or anything like that?
it's tech. Tech would be the going skill.
I'm an F there.
Ooh, I'm an F there as well.
Oddly enough, I'm a D. I guess I can fix a car better. Not as good as a person, but I'm driving it. F though. Don't ask me to drive.
So it's a straight up skill roll.
Here it goes. Ooh, that looks good.
Just gets it right on. All right. So you can tell that the looking at the machine, although it's shot up pretty bad, and there's a couple of bullet holes in the engine block area. The motor seems to be working fine, but you notice that there are several bullet holes back around the gas where the gas tank is, and the vehicle is out of gas.
I relay that to my fellow soldiers.
I look around the vehicle, and what kind of vehicle is this? And are there any like gas cans or anything?
It looks like a Honda Civic from the 80s, and there's a four-door Honda Civic, and there's no gas cans or anything like that around.
I'll ask Jay. Is it Jay that worked on the vehicle?
Yes.
I'll ask Jay. Any way to patch that gas tank? And well, first question: did we have any gas left in our vehicle, and how far away are we from our vehicle? Would it be feasible to go back and get gas if we could patch the gas tank? That's what I'm thinking.
There could very well be gas. I would say, yeah, there is gas back there if you wanted to.
Would it be possible to patch the gas tank, Jay?
I don't know. I got gauze. I got bandages. I don't have much that could stop gasoline from flowing out.
I mean, if we wad up some cloth or something and really stuck it tight into the holes, it would keep it from pouring out. It would drip a little bit, but it certainly should give us enough holding power to get us where we want to go.
So the rain is pouring down. The guy by the vehicle is starting to moan a bit more, and
We
we
could
start
try
to
it. You
move
got any
around.
duct tape? I'll ask him if he has the keys on him.
They're in the ignition. Let's check
Then
the trunk, the glove compartment, search the vehicle to see if we can find anything of use.
All right, so you search through the vehicle and you find, let's see, you find a couple of glass bottles. You find an axe, and you also find a knife, but nothing of, and a few like a tire iron and stuff like that, spare tire. Your standard roadside assistance kit. Hey, Lord Way. Hey, Rans. Thanks for dropping in, saying hi.
hey, Lord Way, how you doing?
So yeah, so you're next to this vehicle. There's a guy wounded, patched up on the side of it, and you got a vehicle full of holes. Several miles back is your vehicle, and you know that you have gas back there, but that vehicle is dysfunctional.
Do we have like a gas can or something with our vehicle? A way to carry the gas?
We got these glass bottles that we just found. That's not going to get us very far.
On your
How big are these bottles? Are they like jugs or?
yeah, they're just like normal beer bottles size things. You know, those Europeans now, and they're driving. Not like a few empties in the back. I shouldn't say that. That's probably wrong. So yeah, so he's moaning and groaning.
How far would it take us, or how long would it take us to get back to our vehicle? And do we have any hose of any kind that we can siphon the gas?
You can probably get a hose, and on your vehicle back, there is probably a gas tank back there.
Okay. You two guys want to stay here with him, and I'll run back and go get gas?
I
Now,
don't think it's wise to split up.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if we're
it's
Yeah,
doing,
probably not.
it'll roughly be the way travel works between zones is done in shifts. So it's rainy, you'll have to make a roll, something could happen. You get there and you'll get back. So if a person was to leave on their own, they could very well have a full encounter by themselves. So yeah, you are in a combat zone area right now, trying to escape.
We could maybe put the guy inside the vehicle so he's at least out of the weather. But I think I've done all I can for him.
All right, we'll lay him in the back seat, I guess,
Okay.
of the vehicle.
Yep.
I'll help Jay put him in the back seat, and then we'll go back to our vehicle, see if we can't collect some gas.
All right. Is that what you guys are going to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. What am I going to do here now? So the way travel works between zones, because if you're looking at, I'm going to bring up I'm going to bring back up the travel map that we originally had. And I'm going to put a smaller circle on where you roughly are. I can't make the circle any smaller. Oh, hold on now. Oh, I just got a hey guys, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. How am I gonna do this?
Arrow, maybe?
Are you basically saying we're closer to Warsaw than we are to our defunct vehicle?
Yeah, what I'm trying to explain is to travel back. There is going to take roughly a shift. So back to the vehicle and then back to your vehicle, back to your the one that you abandoned, back to the new vehicle is going to roughly take about 6 hours of travel by the time you get there and by the time you get back. So, and it's not guaranteed either because of the weather and so forth. But you can certainly try that.
How far are we from Warsaw on foot?
You are about 10 miles. You can probably get to the bridge zone
So in that,
another 6 hours by walking.
so we're really better off walking to Warsaw. We'd get there quicker, is what I'm saying, if we just kept walking to Warsaw.
Yeah, I agree.
Car might be an attractant anyways.
Do we have any blankets in the vehicle? We've got woods. We could get some lumber, maybe make a litter for the injured man.
Yeah, there's certainly lots of that stuff around to be able to make a like a litter for him without a doubt.
So I'm going to argue that this guy is a civilian. He's not relevant to our mission. We can't go picking up every wounded civilian that we encounter. I think we need to get to Warsaw, Ricky Tick.
Good
Can I
point.
make another attempt on medical aid on him?
All right. Well, you know that you patched him up as well as you could, but he is a lot more lucid now than what he was earlier.
Can he walk?
No, he's not able to walk.
Do those glass bottles smell of anything toxic? Could I leave some water with him in a glass bottle?
Sure, absolutely. You can tell it was only empty beer bottles that were in it beforehand.
I'll do that so that he's tell him to drink fluids and rest a bit.
As he's there and you're trying to help him out a bit, he's like, "You Americans."
I look over to the other soldiers and not knowing what to say to him as I'm getting him some water and getting him instruction.
So I mean, we're in uniform, right?
You guys are in uniform, yep. Now his English
So
is
he should
broken.
be able to see the American flag patches on our shoulders.
Yeah. If he was, I would say 100% with it. I would say no doubt.
I'll answer him. Yes, we're Americans.
You be careful. Forces, communist forces, down the road, in the farm, near the bridge. They're bad. They're really bad.
On this road, the bridge on this road?
Yeah. Just farther down the road. There's
Near Warsaw?
Yeah, it's the bridge that you can cross. Warsaw's on the other side of the river.
Do you know anything about Gora Kalawaya to the south? Is that bridge less likely to have commies on it?
They've been all over the place. We thought we were saved when we saw the Americans push through, and But now we see Russians and communists everywhere. The Russian forces are everywhere. They're raiding and they're burning everything. It's like they're out hunting.
Thank you for the warning.
You know how many soldiers? Are we talking battalion size, squad size?
I only saw 3 or 4, but it's a small town and they're sporadically filled out through the area. All right. I'm going to ask. Hold on, now I gotta make a roll.
The river that we have to cross, is it swimmable?
It's risky to swim.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna. Who's the best person for keeping watch? Who's making watch? That's Frederick, right?
Yeah, he's watching the road.
All right, Frederick. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get you to make a recon roll. Minus is going to be a straight up recon roll because it's rain, but you've been pretty focused on what you've been doing.
So 1 success.
All right. Assets. Rule set. Breaking through the trees, you've managed to catch the attention, or you notice some movement, and when you look, you see a singular person moving through the tree line just off to the northeast of where you are right now.
Can identify if he's friend or foe.
He is not friendly.
Open fire. And I shout out to everybody else, contact at 11 o'clock.
All right, so Frederick, because you were on watch and you saw him, you get to go first. So I'm going to bring everyone to
Okay.
the combat tracker. In the top right-hand corner, you can click on the combat tracker, just the cross swords. And because of what happens here is that everyone has their initiative order. As a player, you guys each have a fast action. You can take 2 fast actions, or you can take 1 fast action and 1 slow action. As an action, before you do anything, if you want to trade your initiative order with someone, you can. Your initiative order will never change, other than how you move it back and forth between you guys. But you need to declare that before you do anything. So this game is all about modifiers. All right. So I'm going to assume that as a machine gunner, that you are in the prone position with your bipod, kind of keeping an eye out for everything in cover.
That is correct.
All right. I am going to assume that your character has cover. Now, every character, every token on the map has a little arrow over top of it. That is going to represent the direction of your cover. If you're in a zone that has cover, you get added armor bonuses to your legs and your torso. Your armor is in that direction. To move that little token, you hold down your shift button, and you can mouse wheel over top of your icon, and then moves your arrow. You face your arrow in the direction that you want to have your cover, and then those front three, any attacks coming from the front three hexes, you have your cover bonus. So if someone attacks you from the rear, you don't have cover. Okay?
Gotcha.
So you just don't say you're in cover until it's your turn, and you say, hey, I'm going to take cover. Looking for cover is a fast action. Okay? Just to let you guys know. But if there's cover in that zone to have it, it's in the fast action. If you want to drop prone, that's a free action. Oh, I'll make this easy for you guys. In the chat window, I got your fast action and slow actions. If you click on those icons, it'll bring up and show you a list of your fast actions and what you can do, and your slow actions and what you can do. You don't, if you wanted to, you don't have to take all your actions. If you got in the combat and you still have like the block as a fast action, so you would need to wait. You may need to save your actions. If you don't save your actions, then you can't do your reactions. So right now, you guys are, although behind the vehicle, you guys aren't considered to have any cover. You can all be in the same zone too if you wanted to, but if you're in the same hex and something happens, it may happen to all of you. So something to keep in mind.
Okay, so each hex is called a zone, and in this case, I was having cover behind the rocks,
Yeah,
looking
exactly.
up and down the road. Okay, and so then I could take it. It looks like a slow action then would be to fire heavy weapon.
Correct. Yep. So because now here's the thing: if you're you can fire a weapon, which is a slow action, but you can take a quick aim, and a quick aim negates any bonuses if you don't aim. You know what I mean? Like if you don't take a aim action or a quick aim action, you're going to suffer a modifier to your skill. Because you are
Okay.
Yeah, so you're laying prone. You're 6 zones away. Your range for your machine gun is 6, so you're within short range. It's dark, so it's a -1, and he is in some woods, so that's a minus. Let me look at the modifiers. Fire modifiers and cover. I'm going to drag out your fire modifiers here as well. You can drag these buttons down to your quick bar to bring them up when you need them. He is... I gotta look at the woods. What is the woods modifier? Yeah, -1 for the woods, -1 for darkness and rain. I'm just gonna lump it in together. So you're at a -2 to your skill. Because you're prone and your gun is mounted, you are actually going to be using your ranged combat skill right now. This is for the gunner, Frederick.
Right. So I mean, what would be, because like on heavy weapons, I have a 12-8 and a 6, and range combat is 10-8-0.
Right. So because you only use range. It's a weird rule, and I only read this today. Because you're using a heavy weapon and you're prone and you have your bipod, you fire it using a weapon skill, your range combat skill. If you were standing, you would use your strength, your heavy weapon skill, but it's kind of weird.
So I'm actually better off to stand up and like
you'll
fire
suffer
my machine gun.
You'll suffer an additional -2 if you stand up. And standing up is a fast action too.
So I would make a ranged combat attack, and at a -2. So that means I take, like, my numbers are 10-8-0. I would take that 10 and take that 8 and make that a 6.
You actually make that 8 a 0. Now you have a machine gunner bonus down below. See that?
Oh yes, +1.
So that makes it a 10 and a 6.
Okay, I'm confused. The minus. So how does a -2 turn an 8 into a 0?
Okay, so what it does is you got to look at your dice steps. So you're not subtracting from the actual number. You're moving it down to your different type, your different die type. So essentially, you have a -1 for the darkness and the rain, and a -1 for the woods. So that's a -2 there.
Okay, and so
We don't go lower than dice 6, so -2 takes you down to a dice 6.
so a negative is a dice type as opposed
Yes,
to
exactly.
a
Yeah,
subtracted number.
yeah,
Okay, so that 10-8 is a D10, a D8, and I guess D0 because it doesn't have rate of fire. So I get the -2, but then since I got the +1, it's a -1, so that D8 becomes a D6. Got it right?
no, you're close, but you're kind of backwards. Because right now your range combat skill is a C. So that's a D8, right? So if you drop it by 2, that 8 goes to 6, and then it goes to 0.
Right.
But because you have a +1, that brings it back up to a 6,
Yeah. So
right?
it should be 10, 6, and 0.
Right now you have a rate of fire of 6 on your weapon, so you can fire up to 6 d6s. You can put it up to a 6 in that into that block if you want.
Oh, okay. So I can. Okay. So gotcha. So I can change that as to what I want. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
guess I want to open up with him with a 4.
Okay, so you put a 4 in there.
All right, and then I can just roll.
You just roll the dice. Let's click the button. All
So
right.
that does 2 damage.
It does. Well, actually, it does a critical to him. For whatever reason, I guess I don't have the die code set right, but that you got a 6 in your. See in the red dice, you got a 6 there.
Yep.
So that's an additional hit. So you essentially did your basic damage and an additional hit. So that makes it 3, and that you completely saw the guy down, gun him down completely.
That'll work.
So, but you look at all your ammunition that you spent now. You spent 16 shots, so you got to scratch off 16 shots of your weapon.
All right.
So he didn't last
Where do
long
we?
at all.
Where's
The way I would do it
where's the?
is you can just keep a note on it on your in your inventory if you wanted to, or you can do it. You can just do it up on top too by the critical attacks, or up in the attack box up on the top.
All right.
You can just write in the side of it there somehow. There you go.
All right.
So, describe you gunning down the guy if you want.
All right. So I take careful aim on him, center mass, open with I guess 2 fire to. It's a 2 8-round bursts.
Yep.
And yeah, he crumbles in a heap, bullet ridden and deader than a doornail.
So you guys hear this burst of fire open up right away. What do you guys want to do? So that was Frederick. So Jay, you're next.
I haven't actually spotted the person yet, have I?
Oh yes, once it's been spotted, everyone, like, you may not physically see him, but you know he's there. But you heard him call
Okay.
out, right?
I think I'll move to there and seek cover in the direction of my facing,
Okay. Yep.
and watch down that roadway, anticipating more soldiers. I get a feeling there's not just the one.
And Soviet guy, he's dead. Move him. And next person is Jonesy.
Jonesy's going to move over here by the vehicle, take
Yep.
cover behind the vehicle, and look over his shoulder behind us up the road, the way we came from. Just make sure there's nobody coming up from behind us.
You don't see anyone at all coming up from behind you that way.
Okay, then I'll scan the other direction,
So,
waiting for a target of opportunity.
all right. So you guys are there for a few minutes. You don't see or hear any more activity at all.
I'll ask Frederick to cover me, and I'll go check out the downed Soviet.
Okay. Yeah. So you go over. You find him. When you look at him, you see that he is wearing the Soviet Special Forces insignias on his shoulder. Special Forces trooper.
I'll search him for documents, weapons, ammunition, food.
All right. On him, he has a AK-47, and I'll put that directly. Yeah, an AK-47, a couple of magazines, and he's got a steel helmet. But you don't see anything too much else other than the basic, a little bit of food here and a water canteen.
I'll take the water, any food that he's got, and the weapon and ammo that he's got.
All right, water times one. I'm going to add an extra field ration onto your character sheet, and I'm going to drag over the AK. Oh, sorry. Items.
Since I saw Jay give some of his water to our civilian,
Yep.
I'll actually give him the water from the Russian.
No problem.
And approximately how many rounds of ammunition do we have for this AK-74?
It looks like you got 4 magazines and 1 in the gun already. So 5 total. 5 30-round magazines.
Nice.
Is it an AK-47 or AK-74?
Oh, it's AK-74, sorry.
What weapon is Jay carrying? An M16?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How many rounds you got? And Frederick, how much ammo you got left? Let's take a quick inventory of what we all have. I've got 4 magazines, so I got about 120 rounds for my M16.
I've got, looks like 2 magazines holding 30 each.
And I've got 200 round belts and 184 total from the shots I just took.
All right, I'll give Jay one of my mags. That way we'll each have 3 for our M16s.
Okay.
And I'll hang on to the AK-74 for now.
Okay, no problem.
I'll take it, but I'll let you know. You're probably better suited to have it than I am. I've got a, where is it? A Delta in range combat.
Yeah, but I can switch to the AK-74 and bullets are bullets.
Copy that.
So yeah, so
how
you
many
guys,
rounds are in an AK-74 mag?
looks like AK-74 is AK-74 30 rounds.
Okay, so I have 5 magazines of 30 rounds each for the AK.
Correct, yep.
Okay, I just added the mags to my inventory.
Okay.
I'll give the civilian. No, I better not do that. I'm not. I was going to give him the Russian's helmet, but any Russians that came along and saw him might think he killed the Russian.
Could be very well, yeah. So the rain is increasing, and it's still pretty dark out right now. Uh, you just made a whole lot of noise.
What time is it?
It is now going into the second shift of night, so you're looking at around just after midnight some point. Hey, Gila Monster. Hello. Back to you. Back in Utah.
Probably Gila monster. Be my guess. Don't let him bite you.
No biting. No biting, Monster. All right.
So I think maybe we should start heading. Well, I don't know. Warsaw. Things seem kind of dangerous right now. Do we want to? Should we keep heading to Warsaw? Um, so in Warsaw that's where our headquarters is.
That's where the staging point was. So that was pretty much the on the other side of the front lines. That's where you guys started several weeks ago. Was that location? Your last command was to get to
Yeah,
Warsaw.
we're basically behind enemy lines.
Yes, that's correct.
And that round of fire may have drawn more. He may have been an advanced scout, so it probably is best that we don't hang out here.
Yes, so we should probably keep going west and try to get away, try to get closer to where I would think enemy forces might be, which would be to the west. I mean, friendly forces.
Yes, agreed.
Okay. So you guys are going to leave that civilian there in the jeep, in the vehicle?
I think that's about all we can do.
Yep. Yeah, it's a hard decision, but you got to do it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to ask to continue traveling. We have to make a mobility roll. So I'm just going to ask the person with the best mobility skill and stats should probably take the lead, and one person to become the lookout, the advanced scout. So he rolls.
Well, I've got the better recon, so I've got a C for mobility. What about y'all two?
I'm also C.
Yeah, Jay's got a Charlie.
Okay.
All right, but I'm the better recon, so I'll take point, I guess.
Okay.
And that's you, Jonesy, right?
Yeah, that's Jonesy.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. And we should probably move in like a wedge formation with you at the point, and Jay and I, following back, just keeping you within sight and off to the side of the road, not right on the road. So moving through the trees, the next to the road, and head west. To keep ourselves spread out, so if we are attacked or whatever, then there's less chance that all of us get hit.
Gotcha.
Agreed.
All right. Thanks, Gila Monster, for following. Appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, I am going to get Jonesy to. You guys are going to get back on the road, and you're going to start to travel now. It's going through. It's wet and it's dark. It's cold. It's after midnight. I'm going to get you to make a -1 recon roll, please.
All right, so I've got a C for recon.
Yeah.
So that would then be a D10, which would lower to a D8.
Let's see here. Your recon is a. So yeah. So really, your intelligence is a D6. Your recon is a D8. Or sorry, your intelligence should be a D8. Sorry, I changed that. So it's a -1. So yeah, it's a D8 and a D6.
So an 8 and a 6. Okay.
Eight and 6. Yep. Excellent. As I'll move you to the next map. I gotta roll some dice.
Roll the good numbers, whatever they're high or low or whatever, but roll them good.
So it was 9. It never fails that I have all my tokens already set up with pictures and icons, and when game time starts, for whatever reason, it's never the icons and the pictures I had ready for. So he goes to that one. Alright, so they're all hidden, so I will share this map. So when the map loads, you're going to see 3 tokens on the map.
Yep.
So right where you currently are right now, you're not going to see them because you don't have line of sight. So I'm just going to move you up so everyone...
What's the scale of this map?
Still about roughly 10 meters.
Okay.
So I'm just going to move you guys all around the map so you see it, so you know where they are. So the way it works is that when you spot something, right, you get to start within a certain distance of where you notice them, because of Jonesy's doing his recon, he became alerted to 3 sets of troops in the coming zone. So if you want to, you can start anywhere you want up till nine hexes away from those tokens. So you're coming from the bottom of this map. You can't go past them, but you got to be at least 9 away from them.
What is this terrain here?
That's just open field, a little bit of grass.
And just to the west?
That there is like an orchard.
Orchard?
So
Okay.
you can see through some of it, but not all of it.
We can be within, we can be no closer than 9 hexes.
No close. Yeah, that's your starting zone. That's your encounter distance. So you can be up to 9 inches or 9 hexes away from those guys.
And have they noticed us?
They have not noticed you because you guys spotted them before they spotted you.
Should we set up in these buildings down here in the south and watch them? like down here.
I'm going to remove the line of sight for now, because it doesn't work with the game mechanics. I'm seeing that now. So, as much as I like line of sight, it doesn't really help it in this. It just makes it more confusing. There you go.
All right, so we got to be outside those circles.
Pretty much, yeah.
And we have to be on the south side of the map.
South side of the map, yep. Now, you can be south side of the river, because that is the bridge that you guys are, this is, you're walking, you finally got to the area where the bridge would have been to cross to get back into your home base, or into the front lines.
How dense is the forest to the west of Soviet Soldier 8?
So the way it works, see the individuals. Okay, let me remove these lines here first. Now drawings, pointers. All right. So you see the trees right here where the red mark is.
Yep.
You can see up to into 3 of these zones. So wherever these little orchards are, you can see into 3 of them, and then your line of sight is blocked after that. The denser trees, which is the dark green ones, you can only see into one, you can't see through one. Anything like a building blocks line of sight, so you can't see past that particular hex or through that line of sight through the building. And the walls, they don't block line of sight, but they can provide cover, like they're the little hedgerows and stuff.
All right, we'll conceal ourselves from them and discuss our tactical situation. And what I'm thinking is maybe, is that a hill to the west?
Yes, that's a higher elevation up there, yep.
That
I'm thinking maybe
lighter shaded hexes?
Yeah, the brownish color
Yep.
is slightly elevated terrain. So we would have a height advantage, cover of the trees, and a shorter range to fire upon them. Or we come at them from the east, or from the right side of the map.
Are these soldiers, are they moving? Are they like moving from east to west or west to east?
They're kind of patrolling the area. So they're kind of going through the zones, and they so far have been walking south down and along the road, spread out the way they are.
This building that we're at, does it have windows, a second story, anything like that?
Yes, it does, yep.
Maybe go in here and ambush them when they get closer?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If they're moving south, we set up an ambush and take them out.
Okay, so you're going to try to waylay them. There's specific rules for this, which is really cool. How close do you want them to get before you spring your trap?
If they're moving south, I would imagine that they're going to eventually come down this road here. And if we set up in those buildings, as they pass down that road is what I'm thinking.
Yep.
So you want to wait until they place us behind them by their movement, essentially?
Well, I don't think they're following the road necessarily. It looks like they're just kind of patrolling through the terrain. Did the rain let up?
The rain is lit up. Yep.
My range on my M16 is 5, so I'm good out to 5 hexes, and then I think double the range is a step down on the dice, or how does extended range work?
So yeah, the way it is, like, so the range listed on your weapon is always the short range. So medium range is double your short range. Long range is double the medium range. So everything is like the square of the first number, right? So so if your weapon is a range of 6, that's short range. From 6 to 12 is medium range. 12 to 24 is long range.
How does the range affect our chances to hit?
Every band, I'll bring it up here and see. Fire modifiers.
Oh yeah, okay. So extreme range is a -3.
That's right. Yeah.
Long range is a -2. So it'd give us a -1
That's right. Yeah.
for medium range. Okay. What's the range of Frederick's machine gun?
It's 6.
I say we wait till they get within 5 hexes. That way they don't have a whole lot of cover. If we go too much further than that, they could drop back into the trees.
Yep, I agree.
All right. So the way this works, if you lay in wait for an enemy to attack them as they pass, you roll a recon to set up the ambush. This is a slow action, so I'm gonna assume that you guys were, as you're getting ready for this encounter, you spotted them. They didn't spot you guys, so you got some. You're gonna give you a +1 because you got a little time to get ready. So you pick your hexes. Now, if you fail a roll, then you're gonna have to either, when the enemy comes in visual range, if you fail your initial roll to set up the ambush, you must find another spot to make your ambush, or the enemy will automatically spot you. So you can put yourself anywhere you want to be, right? And then roll for your recon, your ability to hide. And if that doesn't work, then you can pick another spot.
Let's set up like a fire team kind of situation here. I'm just afraid where Frederick is right now. If we let them, come right by the house, they have a better chance of spotting us. I'm thinking of opening fire when they get
right out in the open,
like just north. Yeah, out here in the open, north of us.
Yep.
Is what I was thinking. But Frederick's not going to be able to see him from the building back in the back. Yeah, I would say he takes point in that building. And there's only one of us per hex, correct?
No, you can be in the same hex. You can all be stacked up together if you need to be.
So does the hedgerows here down to that are over to the east, do they provide the same cover modifiers as it being in a building?
No, they provide a less cover.
I see.
What about the wall?
Is the game?
The walls give, like the brick walls and the stone walls and all that stuff, they offer a higher cover than, say, the hedgerow or the grass does. You know what I mean?
So in that hex Q7, that's a wall around that?
And that's a brick wall, yep.
Is there for things like, say, grenades or artillery? What about in terms of like us being close to each other? Is there a risk that like an area of effect weapon could
No.
Wound all
If
of
an
us?
area effect weapon was to hit a zone that everyone's in, then everyone would get hit by it. Hand grenades, only the hand grenades that are possibly available in this one, most likely we're only going to damage one hex. So
Okay.
So
if you're
we
next to
don't
each
want to
other,
be in the same hex.
yeah, it's bad.
Does the wall provide as much cover as the building?
It's roughly the same amount, but you're at a lower elevation.
Jay, you want to take the wall? I'll take the wooden building over here to the southeast.
Sure.
That way we're a little bit spread out.
So I'm going to assume that you guys are all taking cover, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Seeing you got some time. So these forces continue moseying along. One breaks out here, the other one breaks out here, and the other one kind of starts wrapping around here. Oh, no, sorry, he's going to go through the tree line right there. And now they need... Soldier 3 needs to roll. Oh, yeah, you guys got to make your recon rolls, the hide. Sorry. And you get a
Is that
+1.
individually?
Yeah, no, we'll do it as a group. It'll be faster that way. So the person with the best recon can make the roll.
That's
Oh,
Okay, so
me. Oh no.
you can choose to re-roll the one dice that didn't roll a 1.
Or
Because you can push it, right? But if you don't push it,
okay.
if you decide not to push it, you have to pick, everyone's got to pick a different spot to hide in.
Or we just
Oh, well, then
rotate.
I'll push it.
Oh, you're gonna push it? Do you have
Yeah.
to re-roll if you pick another spot?
You got to roll, but you're not going to get your bonus this time. So the dice
All right,
that's
so how do I re-roll the one die?
all you got to do is where are you, Jonesy? I got to find you. Turn that 8 into a 0 and just roll the dice. Just roll your straight skill, yeah. Oh, so you did succeed. Even if you put in a 0, it's still going to show a dice icon, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
So yeah, so you guys have successfully hidden, but you only have your one success. So now they have to roll, and they're gonna see if they can spot it. And if not, you guys are gonna get your ambush. So they have recon. Eight and 8. All right, that guy walks down a little bit more. They walk down a little bit more. They're not shooting at you. You want them to finish their move before you do your actions, or?
Yeah, I think we said about 5 hexes.
Yep.
All right.
So let them get a little closer.
All right, so we'll go right to here. He's going to go to there. He's going to go to there as they're going to meet up. This guy is going to move to here. Okay, Jonesy. What do you want to do?
All right, so I'm at 6, but they're at 5. Plus, we've got 2 of them. If Frederick opens up with his machine gun and 2 of them are standing next to each other, is it possible that he hits the other one?
Only if they were in the same zone.
Okay. I would like to wait until they get one hex closer, so that I'm in my normal range instead of a medium range,
All
or
right.
I'm in
Now
short range instead of medium.
you can go. You can take a. You can go into Overwatch. That's an action. And what that does is pretty much once they do something within their three. You know how you pick your cover direction. Well, if anything happens within that cover, that area that you're looking at, you can decide to fire before your next turn.
Okay, then I'll do Overwatch.
All right, so I'm just gonna put in Overwatch here. Hold on. All right, Jay, what are you gonna do?
Regret enlisting in the military, probably. Was he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So I got Soviet Soldier 8 within my range now. I'm gonna meta a little bit. You guys think I should open up on him? And I got a Delta in ranged combat. I might hit, might not.
Is
Yeah, if he starts moving to the left, you may lose sight of him through the orchard.
Yeah.
And his orchard, like if you do select them, do a line of sight on Yig.
You mean like that?
And yeah, so see where you're going through the orchid items, you're going to get a negative because you're shooting through trees.
So now may be the best time. Otherwise, I'm waiting for him to hit my flank.
Pretty much, yeah. It's up to you. Or you can shoot at the guys that are right out in the open.
Or
Might be
you
a
can
better idea if we
Overwatch
focus
and
fire.
wait. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are confident on getting those two, I can potentially turn and get them. But maybe I should, to prepare, start thinking about shifting my cover. Can I change cover during an encounter, or is it
Yeah,
set?
no, it's a fast action, so you can do that as a fast action whenever you want.
And I think I will. Well, maybe I'll keep my cover forward to see what happens. I'm assuming if this soldier has any tactical training, he's going to try and flank the position. But for now, since he's ahead, I'll keep it there because that's where most of the threat is between all three. And I think that'll be my turn.
Okay. All right, Frederick.
all right. Is there any, for example, if you take out the officer, does that cause any modifiers for Soviet soldiers?
There is a thing called suppression in this game, and the officers better have a higher leadership, so it makes it harder for, if you take out an officer, it could make it harder for them to recover from suppression.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I guess I want. You know, we're. So Jonesy, you're waiting until they get another hex closer. Yeah, I guess I will do the same.
You're going in Overwatch as well?
Yeah, we wanted to get them a little bit closer before we started shooting.
Overwatch. All right. So next is the officer. He's got to roll his dice. So is it? I get a +1 now because I'm closer. Roll the dice. All right. He doesn't see you, so he is. Let's see. What's he gonna do? He's going to go to here. Nothing, anything going to happen?
Yeah, he's in my range. The other guys are in their range, so I'll go ahead and open fire on him.
All right, so you're gonna interrupt, so you can go ahead and fire. You're at an elevated position, so you get a +1. To your range.
So that would give me a 12, 10,
Yep.
and I just decide how many
Bullets. How many
how many
rounds you
shots
fire?
I'm going to.
Yep. Absolutely.
How many bursts I'm going to shoot? Really?
Exactly. Yep. Okay, so you actually got a critical, and you killed the officer. So the officer, go ahead and describe it.
I open up with 4 quick bursts and riddle the officer with lead, and he collapsed where he is.
He goes down. All
Now,
right.
Frederick could take his Overwatch, couldn't he?
Yeah, because they all know where you are now.
Yeah, and since as soon as he opens up, then I'm going to go ahead and open up on number 8.
On number 8. All right. So you get a -1 modifier because of the trees, but you're in a building, right? Yeah, you're in a building, so you're elevated. So it's a straight up roll.
Okay, and so just still trying to understand this. My agility is a B, D10, range combat. Would this be range combat again?
Yeah, because you're mounted with your machine gun, right?
Yeah, and so that's a C. So that would be wait.
That's an 8.
So it'd be an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. So so anything that's a B, like your strength, your agility is B,
Yep.
and
But it shows range combat is C.
your range combat is a C, so that would be a 10 and an 8.
Okay, so again, the first one is your attribute score. The second one is the skill score.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so unmodified, it's a 10 and an 8.
Yep.
Modified, then this would be an 8 and an 8.
No, you got to go up. So it'll be a 12 and a 8. Because you always upgrade your highest dice first.
Right, but I thought it was a -1 because of the trees, and then
but you're also
I was a
elevated.
+1 because of elevation.
Yeah,
So does that cancel out?
That cancels out. So it should just then in that case then it's just a straight up roll.
10 and an 8.
10 and an 8. Yep. Okay.
All right, looks like I hit him.
You hit him, and your ammo dice shows a 6, so that also counts as a hit. So you've done another. You've knocked him down too. What? You get to describe it.
Okay, so just as he's passing in front of those trees, and I hear Jonesy open up on the other guy, I let rip with a couple of bursts from machine gun, and shots hit low, so takes him out at the ankles, but as he falls down, the second burst hits him right in the body and the head, and he's just splattered on the ground. So I did a 3 for my rate of fire, so that would be how many rounds?
So you added up, so that's 11.
Add up the red dice.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't understand.
So
the rate of fire,
yeah, the rate of fire is how many extra ammo dice that you roll. So
right.
Now that you rolled your dice, you look at the total.
Oh, right. Gotcha. I add up those. Got it. I got it.
And so he's dead. All right. This Soviet soldier here is his turn. He is immediately going to go prone. He is dropping to the ground to go prone. He is going to target the machine gun. And you are, what's the modifier for being in the building? Terrain modifier. -1. All right, so Frederick, you are going to encounter some rounds here right now. Let's see what happens.
That's a lot
There's
of
a
dice.
lot of dice.
It is a lot of dice. It is a hit, and two dice ammo dice also hit. So you take. Oh, okay. Now I gotta roll the cover. I gotta roll where I hit you. So, because where you were in cover, only your head and your arms are exposed. Oh, so torso. Oh, that was Jones.
Well, I rolled that.
All right, hold on. I'll do it. Hit location, roll the dice. Yeah, so it hits you in the torso,
Ouch.
and the modifiers for the cover that you're in is a 3. So you have a flak vest on, right? Hit you in the torso, and
Yep.
you got cover from the building, so it works out to 4. Okay. He did a total of 4 damage, so you actually end up not taking any damage whatsoever because your armor and the cover absorbs all the damage.
Well, that works for me.
But you do take a stress point of damage. All right, so your stress drops by 1. Oh, that should be it.
So I
And
actually reduced the stress max down to 3.
not in the little box to the right there.
Right. So this is stress max is 4. So I make that a 3 because there's
Yeah,
not a
make it.
wound.
Yeah, that's right. You just move it down to a 3. Yep. Your armor has the cover in the building now is reduced because it's taken a bunch of fire, and your flak vest is destroyed, so it's not going to offer you any more protection.
Oh, well, crud.
So I got to add up the dice here. 6. So he pretty much jumped onto the ground and just held the trigger down and sprayed in your general area, peppering your position. Bullets are binging through the walls and breaking glass. A couple of rounds strike you in the chest, but you don't feel any type of damage. You do take some stress, and now you have to roll for suppression. So suppression is going to be your. If you look down in the combat section, you're going to see what's called Coolness under fire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What you do, you roll your basics Coolness under fire roll, and you got to get your group morale. That's the person with the highest command. So who has the highest command skill?
I have an F, but a D8.
Yeah, I'm also an F.
Yeah.
Same here.
All right. So you just roll your which is a C. So that's an 8. You just roll a D8 and hope for the best. This cannot be pushed. All right. So you fail your suppression. You are now suppressed, which means next turn you have an option. You may have a chance to react if you recover. If not, you got to wait a turn.
Drat.
All right, Jonesy, you're next.
I'll fire at Soldier 3, but he's at medium range.
Right, so that's a -1.
Okay.
You're at height,
And is he...
and he's prone, so that's a -2 total. Yeah. So if he's prone,
Prone is -1?
target prone. Where's the 2?
Oh, -2.
Yeah, -2, and your range is -3, but you have a +1, so it brings it down back to a -2.
So I'm a range combat B, which would be a D10. That would drop the second die to a 6,
That's correct. Yep.
and the first die would remain a 10. Okay.
Yep. And you're gonna fire 4. You're gonna let him have it.
Okay, I have a question. I'm going to let him have it with 6, with a full rate of fire, but I've only got 12 rounds in the magazine.
That's fine, because what happens is when you roll the dice, if there's a little bit of math to it, but if you just roll the dice, if you roll more than what's left in your magazine, your gun is empty.
Okay. Can I do a fast action aim and then a slow action fire?
Yes, that's correct. Because if you don't, you'll get a further minus.
Take a more bigger. Okay.
Yep. So you hit once, and yeah. So if you wanted to, you can try to re-roll that. It's up to you. And essentially, what you would do
Reroll.
like you hit, all right, but you can always. Oh no, sorry, it's only if you fail. Sorry, my bad. So you hit,
Okay.
and you do points damage, and that soldier now becomes suppressed. Okay, Lane. Oh, would you like to describe your actions? I gotta get you guys to start describing actions first before you roll.
Yeah, I see that he riddled the building where Frederick is by emptying his clip. So I decide I'm going to empty my clip and pepper him with bullets, at least making him keep his head down.
All right. All right, Jay, what would you like to do?
Can I tell how good a cover he has from my position, or am I just seeing a helmet pop up and down?
He's right out in the open field. He's just laying down. He heard the gunfire and he started dropping.
Well, I think I'm gonna put some suppressive fire on him, or try and take him out.
All right.
Probably more so trying to hit him than just throwing shots wild.
All right. So it's a -3 total because he's just outside of your 5 and he's prone.
And I can decide which dice to remove.
You always drop the lowest dice first.
So that'll be. So I got a 10, 6, and 1. So I'd take the 1 down, then I'd have to take
No,
2
that
from
one,
the
that
6.
third number, that's your ammo dice. So just forget about that
Okay,
one.
so it's 10 and 6. So I'd have
Yeah.
to take the 6 down to.
A 0. That's one step. And then your
That's shift. I guess it is
Yeah, it goes-
shift, right, to bring
Yeah.
that.
shift, yeah. Or you can just click on it and type in it too. So that comes down to a 0. There you go.
There we
And
go.
you still
I'm
got to
better with
lose 2 more now.
So that'll bring. a 10 down to a 6.
A 6, yep.
And then just roll that.
Well, you could have put in as much ammunition if you wanted to, because you got to fire your burst, right? So you can fire. You can add up to 6 dice where that 1 is. That's the amount of bullets that you're going to fire.
So I could do 3, more like a burst fire.
Yeah, if you wanted to, 3
Draining
or 4 or 5.
some of my magazine.
Yep. So you can put in whatever you want to roll. Okay. Now we'll let you roll it again, though.
I appreciate that. And it's no better.
So
same result.
It's no better, but you can now you can push the roll, and you can try it again. If you fail now, you'll take a point of damage. But if you succeed, you succeed.
I'll try. So I just do I adjust the dice at all? If I'm going to push.
Can he change the number of 6-sided dice he rolls at this point? For a rate of fire. Can he change the rate of fire if he pushes? No.
No, you got to keep it what it is.
So I just roll again?
Yep.
Oh, I see a 6 hiding underneath there. Thought it was an ammo dice. 3 negative 1s in a row.
So you suppressed them again, is what you got there, because you got your ammo dice came up as a 6, but you don't actually have any hits, so you've suppressed them again.
I suppose that's the best I can do in this situation.
Well, you're keeping his head down, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Now, someone just noticed, one of our viewers noticed a mistake, and I completely forgot. Jonesy, when you fired, you actually rolled a 10, so where it's 10 and higher, you actually would have had 2 successes, as opposed to 1. So that was my bad.
Is that a coding thing?
Well, no, what happened is it came up, but the way the coding works is that the negative modifiers subtract from the positive. So I wish and it gives me one number. I wish it, like, if I had 2 failures or 2 successes, I wish it said like 2 and 2, but it doesn't. It gives me the total, and I never noticed it.
So what number gives you the extra success?
Anything 10 and higher.
10 and higher. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good catch.
So I would have gotten 2 hits on it.
Yes, you would have. Yep. Yeah, so the guys are asking what game this is. This is the alpha PDF rules for the new updated Twilight 2000 from Free League. All right, so he is suppressed again. You're forcing his head down. And you scratch off a total of 12 shots. All right, Frederick, you are suppressed. You need to try to recover. You need to make a Coolness under fire roll. Again.
All right. Any modifiers this time?
No modifier, just a base roll. You are successful, which means you can take 1 long action, or one slow action, which means you can just open fire again if you wanted to.
Yep, which is what I will do. And again, this will be a ranged combat attack. And any modifiers?
There's going to be, because where this is you're not having a chance to take your quick aim, you're going to suffer a -2. So he's prone. -2 is a quick fire, so that's -4. Is -5 total.
Oh, -5. Wow.
Oh, wait, no, hold on. Your range is 5. You're closer. I was looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, and he's got an elevation advantage.
And he's got elevation, yep. So
it'd be -3 total.
-3 total, yep. Thank you.
So then that would be an 8 and a 0.
Let's see here.
Because it starts from the 8, right? So if
Yeah.
it's normally an 8,
So it's
that I take
6,
2 off of that.
0, and 8. Yep, you're right. Absolutely. 8 and a 0. You're unloading on them.
He made me really mad.
Yeah, well, you did get a hit, and you scored an additional hit because of your ammo dice, so you wiped him out.
Right.
Delete. All right. So so you've opened up with a whole bunch of fire. Uh, okay. The bridge is just ahead of you.
I'll move up and join Frederick. Make sure he's not too badly hurt since he came under fire.
His
I'll move there and well.
Yeah, he's fine, other than a little bit of stress. His flak vest has seen better days, and the wall he was standing behind was completely peppered with holes.
So if I recovered from the suppression, does that mean that my stress goes back,
No, your
or
stress
something else
stays.
happened?
Yeah, your stress stays where it is right now, and you would have to get a. I think it's a command roll offhand. I'm trying to remember. A manipulation roll. Someone's got to try to.
Convince me it's not so bad.
Yeah. Let me see.
I'll check him for injuries anyways, because that's what I do.
Let me just see what happens for recovering from stress. Because you, as a medic, that's some of the things that you're supposed to do is make sure he's all right before he gets back into the action, right?
Yep. I like a nice pina colada to recover from stress.
So you make a command roll to recover stress.
Jay does, or I do?
Someone else does.
I got a foxtrot. Who's got anyone better?
I've got a C in empathy and a foxtrot in command.
So 6 and 0. Or no, an 8 and 0,
Okay.
sorry.
I've got a
I've got an 8 and
foxtrot,
0.
foxtrot, empathy in command. So, you want to try? I can try if you don't.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Well,
All right. Tell me how you're going to try and ease his troubled mind.
Friendlies are just across the bridge. You okay? You gonna make it? We're good.
All right, roll the dice.
Oh man, I just them commie bastards are everywhere, man.
Now we got them. We got them. We're good. We're going. Home is in sight.
Yes, sir. Perfect. So you regain your stress, and you're
Oh,
back on track.
that's what I needed to hear, man. Let's go.
All right.
I suggest we scrounge what we can off of these Soviets, and then beat feet for the bridge.
And let's see. I also, looking around to see, did we attract any attention? Is any other soldiers coming into view?
You will need to make a recon check. please.
Yeah, before we leave the cover of the building, we'll scan.
Okay. That's a big 0.
Do we each roll or just the one?
You can each roll if you wanted to. Just have a quick look.
Not today. Well, wait a minute. I had a 0 for the second roll, but it should have been D8, shouldn't it? I
It
should
should.
actually be an 8 and an 8 on Recon.
Yep. It should be. You can roll it again.
Yeah, there's that. Not any better.
All right. You don't see anything, and you all failed your rolls. Okay, so you guys are making
Some
your
harder than others.
summer. So you guys are about to make your way to the bridge. I'm going to allow you guys to put your tokens anywhere you want in that red circle.
Did we find anything on the bodies?
Oh yeah, you found their ammunition and their weapons. They're all AK-74s. Essentially, it's the exact same stats as the weapon that you have, but it's a range 6 as opposed to a range 5. I gotta reset my sound. 1 second.
And no intelligence documents on the officer.
Yes, there was. There was a map, and on the map there are markings of positions and troop
Yeah, Jonesy will
updates.
pocket any documents that the
Yep.
officer had.
So as you guys make your way up to the road, and you get into this position, I am now going to re-roll the initiative. And the combat map has been updated. Around you, as you're making your way towards the bridge, you're walking through a couple of buildings and you start hearing some noises. And then all of a sudden, you hear a burst of fire coming at you. And this soldier here, on soldier number 2, he is going to move into the tree line. He's dropping prone and he's taking cover. And now it is Jonesy's turn.
Shift key to
So I see
change the
both of them.
facing.
You see both of them, yep.
Can I shoot down the wall hex spine at the one in the building?
You can target both of those, no problem. So
Okay, then I will target.
just remember,
I will take cover.
That's a fast action. Yep.
And then, yeah, I'll shoot at him just if nothing else to get his head down.
Okay, so he is in a building.
That's a -2.
A -2. Yep.
Well, I couldn't aim, right?
That's right. That is correct. Is it -2, and he's in a
So it's
building.
actually a -4.
He's. Hold on now. It just seems like a lot. It's a -2 for the quick shot. And because he's in a building, bring up my terrain type modifiers here. He has a -2, so -4 total. Do you have any
I'm going to be just
bonuses?
as bad shooting at the. Oh yeah, I've got a rifleman +1 bonus.
Right, so it's a -3 then.
So that would take my D10 860, and I'd still have I'd have a 10-0 then.
Yep. Okay, so you roll. Something's not. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so you missed your dice. You can choose to re-roll everything again and push, or you can just force them to be suppressed. Actually, no. Yeah. So you missed. You can choose to push the roll and try again if you wanted to. But if you fail, you'll take a point of damage.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and push, and then just do the same roll again. Well, that's not any better.
All right. So you scratch off your 10 shots, and you actually take a point of damage.
So put that next to damage in the upper right.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, so what we'll do, we'll put that 5 over there, and we'll work down. So we'll put you at 4.
Oh, okay. Should I do the same with stress?
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you took cover. You're there, and you never caused too much effect. All right, Jonesy. Or sorry, JC, what are you going to do?
I am going to exchange lead niceties with this Soviet Soldier 3.
Okay.
What do I adjust the dice to? I'll probably unload. For my mag, since I had a 3, are we counting ammo, or how does that work with ammo?
Yeah, so whenever you roll your dice to shoot, you take the total of your ammo dice that you rolled, and that's what you subtract from your weapon. Right? So the
So I
more
should
dice.
have like 15,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, we'll just say 15 for now because I can't remember what it was from before.
combat tracker should tell us. Let's see, we got. Do I count the first roll, the second roll, or both?
All of them. Like, oh no, you look at your second roll, whatever your final result was, right?
The one I pushed.
Yeah.
That's 462, so that would be 12
12. Yep.
shots. So that still leaves me with 3, or can I? Is that number representative of the actual
No,
ammo being shot?
it's the number of dice that you're allowed to roll.
So 3 6-sided dice 18. I have less than 18 shots, so probably push that to a 2.
It's up to you.
Because then I won't have to swap mags yet, and that'll probably maybe empty this.
So
then what do I do?
But before you fire, you need to determine if you're going to try to do a quick aim or if you're going to take cover and then you're going to fire. Because
I'll be taking cover, definitely.
Right. So it's going to be a -4 total.
And that range would normally start. What am I? A delta, so that'd be a. There's not a delta listed. Would that be the E, A, B, C, D,
Yeah. So
F?
what do I have? Oh my goodness! What have I done?
Up in my attacks, it shows an E equals die 6, but I think that
A,
might
B,
be a
C,
D
D.
equals.
Oh my goodness! I'm completely dyslexic. It should be A, B, C, D, E, and E is an F. I got that completely backwards. A, B, CD. Yeah, so that E should be a D, so we're going to change that for you now. All right, so because your agility is a B and your range combat is a D, so the way I do it is I put my base numbers there right off the get-go. So it will be a D10 and a D6.
So it should read like that. Now I need to subtract 4 from that.
Right. So 1 brings it to 0. And then you got 3 more you got to go.
Which will also bring that to, I guess, a 6, because
Yep.
that's the lowest.
That's the lowest. So now you add in however many dice you want to fire.
And I think we're figuring 2, because that's 12. And if I have, let's see, 30 minus 12, I should be able to potentially get 6s in all 3 if I'm lucky. So I'm going to change that to a 3 and exchange those niceties.
I see a couple of 6s. Oh, look at that. So you hit and you've done a critical depending on where you got to roll on your hit location table now.
I think I've got that in the story tables. There it is. And there's a roll. Ooh, a headshot.
Get to describe it. He goes down in a heap.
I see he poking his head up a little bit, and I start putting some burst fire right there, and I caught him with a couple bullets right through the noggin, right through the steel dome.
And he goes down in a heap. And now it's Frederick.
So we got that guy. I am going to open up on soldier number 2.
Okay.
So that's a range. So that's a short range. Clarification that I'm puzzled by the machine gunner bonus and the heavy weapons skill.
Yeah. So
because I understand mounted weapon to be something like on a tripod or on a vehicle mount.
So the way the rules are, first of all, I agree 100% because I find it completely mind-boggling. If the way the rules are written, because there's missile launchers and bazookas and all these other weapons as well. So all the machine guns, all the rocket launchers and bigger weapons are all lumped into heavy weapons. So that uses strength and heavy weapons.
Yep.
And sorry, you're right. I've been doing it wrong because there's an actual. Now that I'm thinking about it, in the rulebook there's a mistype, and I was going by my memory. It used to say ranged weapons, but they changed it to heavy weapons. But what it is you use your agility stat if you're mounted, as opposed to your strength, not your.
Yeah, I get that. And I'm confused on the definition of what mounted would mean because, like, so far we've been, we're just carrying our weapons and, we're not setting up on a tripod. We're not mounting them on a vehicle mount. So in my view, like that would be a heavy weapons skill, as opposed to range combat would be like whip out the tripod, set it up, put the gun on the tripod. Then that would be the range combat skill.
Right. So what happens though, where your weapon, the way the rules are stated, in my understanding anyway, is where your weapon has a bipod on it, right, is integral. Whenever you take cover or just go prone, you automatically get yourself considered mounted. You're considered set up.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
So, all right. It seems then that I would have an advantage to not do that.
Well, the thing is, when you fire any type of heavy weapon, when you're not mounted, you actually take a -2 to your skills. It's actually a negative. So
Okay, I see.
so when you're mounted, you don't worry about strength. You're just using your agility, you're aiming, you're using your bipod and whatever. But if you weren't, you're kind of manhandling. You're doing the Rambo, walking down with the machine gun in one hand and the belt in the other, and you're firing. So then it's less agility, it's more strength then.
Okay, makes sense.
All right.
So for this guy, then I will attack him. Any modifiers on this one?
Well, he is prone, and he took cover. So, and he's in some woods. So it's a -4. If I'm looking at the modifiers right. He's in a forest range. Oh, sorry, it's -1, so it's -3. Sorry.
So -3, then it would be, I think, back to an 8 and a 0.
Yep. All right, so you got a hit. You need to roll your. Oh yeah, so no, you don't have to for him. Yeah, roll your. Because he's in cover. I'm just looking at the rules too. Because he's in cover. Yeah, you need to just roll a hit location. And his leg, so it hits the cover. But he's suppressed. Alright, you still suppressed him.
Take that, Risky.
So effects suppressed. Alright, so for the next turn, he is still suppressed. You're going to notice now that there's the gunfire is starting to draw some attention. And more troops are starting now to come out of the woodworks. So he's suppressed still. All right, Jonesy.
How far can we move?
You can, for a fast action, you can move 2 hexes. If you need to jump a barrier, you need to roll your mobility to see if it happens. If you want to move more than 2 hexes, you can roll a mobility dice, and if you get a success, for every success, you get to move an extra hex. So in theory, you can take 2 fast actions and move 4 hexes.
Okay, I will move to there and take cover.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be a -3 shooting at Soldier 2 because he's prone. Is that correct?
He's prone, yeah. So
-2 because he's prone, and -2 because I couldn't. Well, can I move and do a fast action aim?
Well, no. If you move and take cover, you won't be able to shoot. But if you move and shoot, you'll be able to do it. Because taking cover is an action. It's a fast action.
Okay, well, since he's suppressed, I'm not, and he's more worried about the machine gun.
Yep.
I'm going to take a chance and not take cover.
Okay.
And so I will do my fast action aim and then shoot. So I'll be at a. Ooh, that's still a -3 for me because he's -2 because he's prone, -2 because of the medium range,
Yep.
and a +1 for my rifleman.
And he's also in the woods, so it's an additional +1 or -1. So -5. So you're -4. Did I get that right?
The woods is -1.
The woods is
So yeah, it'd
-1.
be a -4. Yep.
Yep.
Which would give me 860. So that would drop that to a 0. And then I got to drop this to a 6.
Yep. That's right.
And I'm going to, let's see, I've got 20 rounds left. Oh, the hell with it. We'll empty the clip on him.
Let him have it. All right. So you never got any hits.
Well, shit. All right. Not a single 6 in the bunch.
Not a single one. The chances of that happening is pretty rare. You should have had a couple of 6s.
And I don't want to take any more damage, so I'll end my turn.
All right. All right, Jay, what are you going to do?
Well, it looks like I got to reload my M16 because I think there's only 2 rounds left, if I'm counting right,
Okay.
in my
If you
current
want to
magazine.
if you want to reload, make a standard base ranged weapon skill. If you succeed, it's a quick action. If you fail, it's a long action.
So is that the bring it back up to the 10 and 6
Yeah, so what?
for my range combat?
10 and 6, yep.
And then do I worry about ammo for that? Can I
Nope.
put that to 0 or something?
Just put that to 0 if you want.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, there's a 9.
So it's a quick action for you. So you can reload, and now you can, you can move if you wanted to.
So I'll drop my weapon reloads down to 2 in inventory from 3. And I think I'm not seeing any movement coming from the left flank.
None.
I think maybe I'll move down there, reposition my cover.
All right, so you
Move
can't
that
take
direction.
cover because that's an action.
So if I move, that's a free action. The reload was a free action.
No, the reload is a
So-
fast action.
Fast action. I think those words mean the movement and the reload are fast actions.
Yep.
Or is the movement a free action?
No,
So many
a
different
movement.
actions.
Yeah, there's fast and
But
there's slow.
I-
A movement is a fast,
could-
and a reload is a fast.
I could just drop to prone here.
Yes, you could, and that blocks line of sight altogether because you're behind a wall.
So I think that might be my best well, otherwise I'd be standing behind this wall shooting at this guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's risky. That I don't want to take a bullet. I'm the medic, so I think I will drop prone.
You're dropping prone.
Yep, prepare for next round. So that'll be my turn.
All right, so you're prone. Soviet soldier number 4. He's going to roll some dice. He's going to try to run. So his skill is a 10 and a 0. So he can only move 2 so far. 1, 2. And the next one's going to do the same thing. It's going to try to run it again. So he gets 1 extra success. So he's running up to there. My next Soviet soldier, he's going to try a mobility roll to get over that wall. So it's the same dice again, 10 and 8. Or 10 and 0, sorry. So he's able to get over there, and he's taking cover behind the wall. Frederick.
All right, so our soldier number 2, he is still suppressed.
He's
and,
suppressed for now, yep.
Okay, I guess I'll take another shot at him.
Okay, so it's the same modifications as last time.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to push that roll?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And that
Okay.
just means I'm going to re-roll it.
Yep. But if you fail, you're going to take a point of damage.
Got it. Oh, jeez.
All right.
Okay.
So you're going to take a point of damage and scratch off those shots.
Yeah.
So the effects, the suppression wears off. He's going to target back at Frederick. So it's in short range, firing in the cover. I'm trying to remember what the modifier. I said the modifier was for the wall. -2, didn't I?
Yep.
-2. Okay. So it's a 10 and an 8. That becomes 0. And that becomes an 8. Alright, he is going to fire a whole bunch of shots. Let's see what happens. And he's aiming at the machine gunner because he's the one that's got all the attention right now. Okay, so I rolled all the dice. Only my ammo dice hit the zone. There's a 6. So it means suppression. So you need to make a coolness under fire roll to avoid suppression. So you are suppressed. Oh, I already had the suppression mark on you already for some reason.
Oh, yeah, from last time.
Yep. Okay, so you're suppressed. And that's it for him. Jonesy, you see...
I'm going.
Yeah, Frederick is getting his head. He's ducking down behind the fire here. He's taking hits.
Yep, and I'm going to take cover myself and reload.
All right. Well, you took cover in your last round against a wall because you did a quick shot, so you don't need to do that now this time.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got a reload, which is my fast action.
Yeah. So you got to make a.
That would give me a minus.
Well, to reload, you roll a ranged combat roll, your base ranged combat skills, and if you succeed, it's just a fast action. So,
Oops,
yeah.
didn't need to roll the red dice. So I succeeded.
You succeeded, so it's a fast action.
Twice.
So you're reloaded right now. Bang, done.
Okay, so that was my fast action, so I can't aim.
And I'm trying to see now for slow
So then I would be.
actions. shoot a firearm is a slow action.
Yeah. But it'd be -2 because I didn't aim, -2 because he's prone, and -2 because of medium range. +1 for rifleman. I'd be -5. So I'd be a 6-0 trying to hit him again.
Yep.
I think I'll wait till next turn and I can try to. Is he still suppressed? No, he's not suppressed right now, is he?
No, he's not. So where this is the
All
first
right, we're
time.
going to try a quick burst.
All right, yeah, because where I'm just learning, where this is the first time I'm ever seeing the mechanics. I'm learning that even if you don't have a good chance of hitting, if you roll a bunch of dice, you got a chance of suppressing them, which stops them from acting. So that's beneficial. All right, so you rolled a mishap. So, your gun has jammed.
Dope.
So,
Well, that pretty well ends my turn. Good thing I've got that AK-74 slung over my shoulder.
yeah, that is, you got the extra one. All right. Jay.
I'm gonna aim at Soviet Soldier 2. Cause he's more likely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's just out of range.
Yeah, so it's a -1. He's prone and in cover, so it's -4.
Oh my. That'll bring that to a 0 and that to a 6. I think I'll try 2 dice. Feel good about 2 ammo dice.
Okay. You suppressed them. You want to take a chance and re-roll it, or do you want to keep the suppression?
I think I'll just hold suppression. Oh, what happened? I just wiped out the stats for the M16 on my attack sheet.
Oh, we can get that for you. There you go.
Put it down on another line.
See that box in Morecore is a dice script thing, so you're really just supposed to put your dice rolls up there. You can put in your die commands, roll 2d6 or whatever, and you click on it and it would roll. I wish I had an option to turn that into notes.
Yeah, that'd be handy. I guess there's that notes tab
On the
back
back,
in the
right?
back.
So you fired, and you suppressed them. Soviet player number 4. He is going to get into these trees. He's going to drop. Oh wait, now if I move and drop, he can't fire. Or move and get prone. He's
That's
going to
fine. He
move.
doesn't have to shoot.
He's going to move and he's going to go prone. So I got to get the prone. And he is not taking cover, but now he is going to aim at Johnny McMahon. So he is at medium range, which is a -1. He's behind a wall, which is a I said it was a -2, wasn't it? What's the wall? It's a -1, so it's 2. And it's a quick action is 4. So it's 4 dice, -4. I think the next time I do this, in the skills where everyone's skills are, I'll put your default skill there, like the number what it should be, so it's really quickly to know what it is. So -4, 10, 0 makes it an 8. And he's going to open up as well. He misses. He is taking cover. Taking cover. And he's going to do a quick shot. There you go. This is medium range, so it's -4 again for him. And this time he's firing at Frederick. Oh, what happened there? Sorry, that's wrong. Ten, 8, and 6. So, Frederick, shots coming your way. Looks like you were hit, and you get hit twice.
2 hits.
So hold on. Now you did not take cover, but you're mounted. So where you're mounted, it only affects. Yeah. Okay. You never did take cover after, did you? Oh, you did. You did. You did take cover.
I assumed I was.
You did.
Down behind the wall.
Yeah, you did. You did take cover. Okay, so I got to roll the dice to see where I hit. Where you have cover, your head and your arms are exposed. So it's going to hit the cover, so that's 3 points of damage there. Removed, and your flak vest, which is no good. So I hit 1, 2. So I did 4 points of damage.
I'm dead.
No, but your cover takes away 3 of it, so you take a point.
Oh, okay. So that's 4 total. Got it.
Yep. So you take another point of stress. And now you have to roll for suppression.
So coolness under fire.
Coolness
I mean,
under fire.
I'm already suppressed.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's no benefit if you're already like it. Okay, it is now your turn. You can try to recover from suppression.
That's the coolness roll.
Yep.
Nope.
You do not. And so that means that your next round you can act, but you can't act this round.
Right. So I can do nothing. I'm just.
Yeah, you're just kind of huddled down right now as you're taking incoming fire.
Okie doke.
This guy is going to shift his aim towards Jonesy.
He's suppressed.
Oh, so he is. And that he don't do anything this round. That's right. Thanks for reminding me. All right, Jonesy, your turn.
All right, so my fast action would be to draw the AK-74.
Yep.
That's 2 -4 -6, net -5, so I'm back down to a 6-0 with the AK-74. Is the damage on it a 2? The crit and the rate of fire and the range on it is out the same as the M16, or what? I don't have all the stats for the
Oh, you
AK.
don't have the stats there? Yeah, I'll get that for you now.
I started filling it out, but I didn't have the info.
AK-74. It has a rate of fire of 3, damage of 2, crit of 3, and a range of 4.
What was the damage?
Damage is 2.
And what's the crit mean?
The crit means if you do, if you can make the damage up to 3, you do a critical. So that's the critical threshold. So if you roll extra hits and you get to do your extra damage, then that means you get to do a critical.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so I'm down to a 6-0 shooting at, well, Soldier 2 is already suppressed.
Yes, that's correct. But his suppression wears off now after this next round.
But since I'm at a range of 4,
Yeah.
I can shoot. So that takes me out to 8 hexes at
Yep.
medium range.
Medium range, yep.
Okay, so the Soviet Soldier 4 would be at long range.
Because it's more than 8, yes.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and try a shot.
Okay. You got another mishap, and your gun is jammed. Because you rolled 2 ones.
I tossed Jonesy me a rabbit's foot.
Toss him the whole damn rabbit.
I yell at Soviet Soldier 2, "Fuck you, Shorzy!"
All right, Jay, you're the medic. You got to prove him wrong.
I'm gonna cure him with bullets. I think I'm gonna aim at Soviet Soldier 2. Well, let me talk this through. Can I take cover, aim, and shoot?
No. No. You can take cover and shoot, or you can aim and shoot.
I think take cover and shoot sounds a better method. I won't get as many dice or highest dice to be able to hit with, but you never know. I might get lucky.
So it's going to be a -4.
But I'll just leave that where it is then, because that'll be what it will be. 6-0. And then I determine how many
ammo dice you want to add.
I think I'll do 3 ammo dice. And I've already got them targeted, and let's see some 6s. Come on. Oh, I see some in there.
Look at that. You got a hit.
There we go.
You got 2 6s in there.
Yeah, just roll your hit location. Oh, he doesn't have cover.
Torso.
So it doesn't matter anyway. He's just prone. So, yeah, you killed him. You get to describe it.
This guy I saw, he was laying down prone, but he was kind of inchworming, and he was lifting his ass up, and I plugged him through the lower portion of his body.
Nice coup d'etat for my "fuck you, Shorzy," right up the ass.
All right, so let's see here now. The Soviet soldier number 4. He's going to continue firing at Jonesy. First of all, he's prone. He is now taking cover this time. Or is he? No, he's going to keep firing. He's prone. That's enough. That's good enough for him. So that's in -6. He's rolling 6 dice. All right, so that's a hit.
Did you give him a -2 for his range?
I did. Yep.
Oh, damn.
So you're at cover though. So let's see what hits you. If it hits the cover, or if it hits your arm. So you don't have any armor on your arm, so you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And he yells out, "Fuck you, you capitalist pig!" And number 6, he's got cover. He's targeting Alan. He's going to aim, so he's the same thing again. So all right, Jay. Fire's coming at you. And he misses. And
It looks like I am the thinnest of the squad.
you're a hard person. You're a hard person to hit.
Now, did Soldier 4 get a penalty for shooting through the orchard?
He did, yep.
Okay.
Because remember, the lowest possibility is a 6. And that's all
Yeah.
he rolled.
Well, we're not seeing your dice rolls.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, too. All right, I'll share that. Options. You just see a big pile of dice rolling in shadows, and that's it. And then you gotta trust the GM. Is he telling the truth?
Very ominous.
Yeah, well, that's 5 critical hits in a row right there. Yep. There we go. The next time I roll the dice, you'll see them.
Sometimes I just like to throw a dice, go, at the players when they can't see it, and think when I'm just playing with dice.
All right, so Frederick, yours taking fire. Are you going to try to recover? That's all you can. Oh no, you recovered automatically now because you failed last round.
Yeah, it wears off. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I can take normal move.
Yep, you're back to normal now.
All right, I am going to take aim and shoot at Soviet Soldier 4. That's at medium range, so that's a -1, and also I guess a -1 for his cover.
No, he doesn't. He's not taking cover, but he is prone, so it's -2 because he's prone. There's a lot of modifiers to get into the swing of in this game. How different things react all the time.
I only got 5 hours sleep last night, so I honestly can't remember. Did I declare I was taking cover on this last turn of mine?
Where is your character? You did
Shows
not
me
take,
still as prone.
but you did take cover though. I'm pretty sure.
109.
I know I would have liked to, but I lack of sleep. I can't remember.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Oh my goodness!
I think we won, boys. 109.
You're all dead.
Wow. Okay. So you roll 2 ones, so you have a mishap.
How did the parser figure out 112
Yeah, where did it add that plus
then
112?
I don't know. Is there
plus then
something
give it out to 109?
that's weird? I don't understand that.
Math is hard.
Yeah, that's weird. But you roll 2 ones, so you've taken the jam.
All right.
So effects. All right, Jonesy.
How far can you throw a grenade?
Short range. So 2.
Well, that's out of the question then.
You can
All
charge
right,
across the
I'm
open
going
field.
to drop prone
Okay.
and try to unjam the M16.
Okay. So dropping prone's a free action. Let me just get an idea how mishap. How that works.
Is there any golf clubs we could possibly whack a grenade over to them?
Give me a hockey stick and I'll do it. I got Calgary Flames on the side of my helmet.
I was an Avalanche fan back in the days of Patrick Waugh when he beat his wife. I didn't like him, but I still liked the team.
Yeah. He was a good goalie.
Yeah, he's just a horrible person.
Yeah. Are y'all familiar with the show Letterkenny?
I'm not. No.
I am not.
Okay, see, I thought you were because Jonesy is one of the main characters in the show Letterkenny, and he's a hockey player. And you've got in this guy's background that he's got, Calgary Flames and all that, and what he always says, "Fuck you, Shorzy," in the show. So that's where that comes from.
All right.
I thought
So
maybe Jolly was a fan of the show or something.
no, I never heard of it actually. So the rule for
Canadian humor.
if you were to say something like corner gas or something like that, I'd say, oh yeah, I know that show. Okay, so for jamming of a weapon, I thought it was automatically a jam, but it's not. So I'm going to say that your gun is now unjammed.
Okay.
Because there is and that goes the same for you, Jonesy, as well. Because what happens is all weapons dependent, when you first get your brand new weapons, they all start at level A. And every time they mishap, it drops a level, and then you roll the dice, 2 dice based on that new score. And if you fail that roll, then it becomes jammed.
Okay, you basically just lose that fire round.
Yeah, so you're good for now. I'm just gonna retcon it and say that you got your gun unjammed. So you're prone and you're unjammed.
Okay, so that's my action for this turn.
I will allow you to take a quick shot without aiming to make up for my little boo boo.
All right, that's going to be a -2 for range. Is he prone?
He is prone. Yep.
Yes, he's prone. So that's a -4 and a +1 for my rifleman.
Yep.
So it'd be a -3.
Mm-hmm.
So that would at least give me a 10-0.
Okay.
If I'm doing well, am I minus for shooting through the orchard?
No, you're not.
Okay.
So you hit, but your gun is second time you had a mishap. So roll your cover dice, or sorry, your hit location dice. And he's suppressed. So now what I need you to do is roll 2d8s. If you pass on the 2d8s, your gun is fine. So you're good. You got a 6. So no jam.
Okay. and I used 8 rounds.
So another guy's suppressed. Suppression is big, I'm learning, in this game. It's huge.
Yeah, it seems to be like the shaken status in Savage Worlds, where it just keeps them from doing something.
Yep. Okay, Mr. Medic, who's going around killing everyone.
I know where to shoot him at because of my medical training.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think I am going to aim at Soviet Soldier 4. Wow, 10. That puts it into, is that long or extreme range? If I got a 5 on my normal range.
That puts it into medium range still. Yep,
So what's
medium
that
range.
for a modifier?
-2. Sorry, -1 for medium range.
Yeah, I think I did that wrong on my turn.
So just a -1?
So it's -1, and he's prone, so that makes it a -3 total.
So that'll bring me down to, I think that still brings me down to that dice 6. My lucky dice 6, that brings 1 there. And then that still needs 2 more from that, so that's, yeah, it's going to take it down to
Yeah, 6.
dice 6. And then I have 5 left in the magazine, so at this point, would I reload or would I just put 1 dice, and what happens if I roll a 6 on that
Your gun
1
is just
ammo dice?
your gun is just empty after you shoot.
What I read your little thing on that, Jolly,
Yep.
and it says you have to reduce your ammo dice to get it down to the ammunition you have remaining. So I would assume you start at the right and eliminate that die roll until you get down to the ammo remaining.
So yeah, because you get to choose your dice, right? You get to choose. You roll. You can roll the maximum amount of dice that you want, but then at the end you got to remove the total number of dice and work it down. Is that the way that works?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me. So if you've got, say, 10 rounds left
Yep.
and you roll 3 dice and you roll a 6, a 4, and a 5, you would remove the 5. And so you really only have a 6 and a 4.
Gotcha.
So you'd start at the right side of the ammo dice and remove until the remaining dice on to the left of those numbers are down to the proper
No, you can remove
remaining
whichever
ammo?
ones that you want. You got to pick the
interesting.
ones.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way I read that. That's the one little rule that I find a little weird.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to put it to 3, and I'm going to hope that I get a 5 in there.
Well, you
But I
suppressed
got a
them,
1.
but you suppressed them.
Yeah, he's suppressed. I'll take that.
All right. So suppression.
And that means I need to put a fresh mag in next time, so I'm going to put that to 0 left in mag.
Aren't you glad I gave you that extra mag now?
Yes. I was just anticipating you guys actually doing the killing and I'd be doing the patching.
I'm surprised. Like only you guys have just been getting scratches. Not a single critical hit has gotten through on you yet, and like all the critical hits are like busted arm, busted leg, missing eye, whatever. You know what I mean? Bleeding out. You'll bleed out in 2 turns if you're not safe. All types of crazy things. And you guys have just been like, we're fine, we're good. All right, so Soviet number 4 is suppressed this round, so he can't do anything. Soviet soldier number 6. He's gonna. He's firing through the trees. He can. All right, I'm gonna try to make a movement roll here. Agility is. And he doesn't do that, so he's just going to move to here. And he no longer has cover because he moved. All right, Frederick.
All right. I'm going to try to shoot him again.
That's a hit. And with 2 ammo dice hits. So that's a critical.
Nice.
Just roll your hit location.
Hit location?
Yep.
And then roll a critical on torso?
Yeah, if you want. You're going to kill him anyway, but you can just roll this just to get the sense of where it hits him.
Disease virulence? Torn intestines. Nice. His gut erupts in gore, and intestines are hanging out as he looks up and he goes, Bubba! Drops dead.
His intestines are pretty much rolling. He's holding his hands. Guts are squeezing out for us between his fingertips. All types of wonderful things. So
I could really use some spaghetti right now.
So what happens here? Like, say if this is you guys, right? Say if this is one of you guys. This means that you will, unless you make a medical roll, you're gonna die. You have roughly 5 minutes to live. So pretty much after the combat round, if you're not healed by then, you're gonna die. And your stamina is at -1 for the rest until you're healed, and your permanent heal is going to be 2d6 days. So if you're doing a campaign game, you could be going around with -1 stamina for a couple of days. If you weren't fixed up. But he is dead.
So wounds can be very serious in this game.
Yes, and the fact that you actually took a medic is very fortunate for the guys, because that will keep them alive, but you guys just haven't been getting the hits.
I figured it's the one thing that every good war movie has. Someone starts yelling, "Medic!"
Medic! Alright. So, Jonesy?
You never see him yelling, "Officer!"
Well, I can't see him through the trees, right?
Let's do a line of sight. Yeah, no, you're completely blocked.
Yeah. Oh, let's see then. What do I want to do instead? I could move and then shoot, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a nice hole down right on me.
Now, just to let you know, to cross a wall, you got to make a mobility roll.
So Jay has a line of sight to him, correct?
Yeah, and
could I share his hex?
Absolutely. Yep.
I bathed like 2 weeks
So if
ago.
I just
It'll be
move
fine.
2.
So now you can do a quick shot, which is a +2. Or, sorry, a -2 to your skill.
And what's his terrain?
He is behind a wall, so he is... Let me bring it up.
He's behind a hedge.
A hedge. He is... It's a -1 because he's behind the hedge. Yeah, so he's a -1.
But he's exposed. He didn't take cover.
Yep.
And I'm at long range because I'm at 11 hexes.
Yep.
So that's a -2. So he's a -3, but I have a +1. So it's a -2.
Sounds good to me.
Nope, -4 because of -4 because I can't aim.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that gives me an 8-0.
Sounds good. And a whole bunch of dice.
And not a damn hit.
Would you like to try to push that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so before you do, you can't re-roll any ones. So just subtract one of your dice. Just move it down to one and then roll.
I didn't mean to do that. I hadn't
Oh,
reduced it yet.
that's fine. That's fine. Man, oh man, you're not getting any luck. The medic's gonna take over
A
your roll.
2 and a 2. Jeez.
All right, Mr. Allen.
And that's hot.
I think an aim shot. Well, no, I gotta reload. I'm out of bullets, so
Make a basic range modifier, range roll.
that should be a 10, and that should be a 6, and that's a 0. 1 success. Or does a 9 count as 2? I think it only counts as 1.
Yeah, just one success. Did you not
So
roll any?
it's reloaded?
Oh yeah, it's reloaded. So I'm just looking for the actual rules for it. I'm pretty sure it makes it a quick action. Roll a ranged combat roll. If you succeed, reloading is a fast action. If you fail, it's a slow action. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, so you have a fast action left if you want something else to do. So you, okay.
You mean a slow action left because he succeeded on
Yeah,
his roll.
that's right. Sorry.
So he could shoot if he wanted to, just with a extra minus penalty.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, there's really nothing. I mean, I could try throwing my weapon at him, but I think it'd be better throwing the bullets. So, if I remember from previous, it's going to be a 6-0, and then I'm going to put 3. Let's fix that mag slot to 30. So I'm going to try 3. I've been having good luck with 3 ammo dice.
So you suppressed him.
Not so much this one. Suppressed. I'll take it. Keeping his head down. Which is that I'd have to take it because I can't re-roll the one that I rolled. Is that correct?
Yeah. No. You can re-roll again because you're not successful. So you can re-roll everything, but you can't re-roll any dice that's a 1. So yeah, so because that's your skill roll and that's your only skill that you got. You can't. You're right. You can't roll.
I think I'm figuring this game out a little bit. And that was 20 rounds? No. 14 rounds.
14 rounds. Yep.
So that leaves me 16 left.
The ammo mechanic I like because it puts ammo in the very forefront. Like you can blow through ammo really fast in this game. Like you guys are running low on ammo now. You should be like on your last mag.
Yeah, I'm down to. I got 1 in reserve. So I've been trying to conserve my shots, but it is going through pretty quick.
All right, so he's suppressed. He can't do anything. That's suppression saved, you see? Frederick.
All right, so I shoot this guy. So it's a -1 for range, and he's -2 for being in the hedge.
-1 for being in the hedge.
Okay, so total of a -2.
Yep.
All right, so that's all right. 10 is 0.
So hold on now. You're in medium range.
Right, so -1 for that, right?
Wait, no, what's your range of your gun though? It's 5 or is it 5? Is it or 4?
6,
6.
6,
Oh wait,
6,
yeah. So it's a
6.
medium. Yep. Yep. So -1 for the range. Yep. That is a hit. Roll, and he's still not in cover. So he is
Cut him off with the knees.
all right. He is suppressed again. By rights, the way the game rules state is if a person gets hit for an NPC, you're shooting at NPCs because the mechanics is the basic NPC. If you hit, you suppress them. If you do any critical wound, you kill them. If it's a special NPC, like a villain or a boss or something, they act the same way as a character would. But if they're already suppressed, I think they should then be killed.
Yeah, that's Savage Worlds does. If they're already shaken, then any shaken status, any further suppression would turn into a wound.
Yeah. So I'm going for now until if they clear that up. I'm going to just because they can just be suppressed all day long, and nothing happens. Like I think over time, for NPCs, they should be killed on the second suppression.
This is the alpha for this, isn't it?
Yeah. I've been taking notes here all night, so. All right. So, the final Soviet soldier goes down in a hail of bullets from the M249 machine gunner. Bullet casings spraying everywhere. And the bridge to safety is just ahead of you.
I want to recon. So if I move up to here, because we're out of combat, right, I can...
Yeah, you're out of combat.
I'm going to recon.
Yeah, before you move away from me, I was going to ask you to bandage up my arms.
Yeah, I can do that while someone else is recon. I don't trust that bridge, so...
Yeah. I've taken a couple.
So I don't bleed out.
Yeah, I've taken a couple of hits myself. I'm not feeling too good.
All right, so for healing...
I think I've got the medical aid still up, so... It says empathy is a Bravo, medical aid is a Bravo, and then I've got that combat medic +1 bonus. So I've got currently 12 and 10 as my dice roll for medical aid.
Yeah, so recovering from damage. Let's just see how this works.
Yep. I don't want to do this, so I'm going to do it right now. Make the little tank light up.
Killing blow recovery. The fastest way to recover... it doesn't really say. For recovery, you can only be healed if you're incapacitated, which means if you're brought to 0, and then you get brought back to 1. The fastest way for recovery, further recovery, once you're back on your feet, you will heal 1 point for the remaining of the damage for the shift. I'm going to have to read this, but it looks like once you're... you only really heal the criticals. It stops the criticals from taking effect. That's what healing does.
Okay.
So you recover...
So it's just over time.
Yeah, it's just over time. So at the end of every shift, you recover a...
So 1 hit point per 6 hours?
Yeah, pretty much. No one... one point per 6 hours. Once you're back on your feet, you will heal a 1 point of remaining damage for each full shift of resting that you have.
Oh, so you have to be resting.
Yeah, you can heal damage and stress at the same time. So stress is a little different though. That's if you're broken though. So, all right,
So
lesson learned.
since I'm missing a stress point, somebody could try to manipulate me back that away.
All right. Yeah. So if the medic wants to try it, give you back a stress point.
Need a pep talk, medic.
Who is more injured? Because I'm going to triage and try and help the person that's more injured first, I think.
So you only heal critical wounds.
So I can, I put a
nobody.
reference image of Jonesy relieving stress on Frederick in the game room 1 chat. I think that's how I'll relieve stress on people.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm not going to look.
It's clean. I couldn't put anything filthy in there.
Snap out of it, man. We've got a job to do.
That's funny.
So how do I do it? Do I still roll the medical aid for it, or do I just declare what I'm doing?
Just you got to do a command roll for stress.
Yeah, I think that was me.
Yeah.
And this is for Frederick?
Yeah.
For Frederick, yep.
Ah, don't be a pussy, man. Come on, what's your problem?
Oh, he gets it back. The old Batman slap worked.
Apparently.
So based on what I've been reading in the rules here, the way damage works, when you get to 0, you're incapacitated, right? You don't die, you can get hit a dozen times. If you're still at 0, you're still at 0, nothing happens. If a medic or someone can come by and heal you and give you 1 point of health, then you're back to full action again. So it's only the criticals, the critical damages that cause issues. So if you get knocked down to 0, you're not dead. Someone can come by, do a medical roll, you get 1, and then you're back to action again, and then you heal after that over time. So if you have another scenario before you're back to normal, you're still at your 1. So that's the way that works. All right, I am going to. We're just about finished here now, but Jay was on the right track. I'm going to ask everyone to do a recon roll, straight recon roll. Whatever your best modifiers are, make sure you got them.
Oh, look at me. 2 6s.
Wow.
All right. So, if you guys at the very beginning was to continue talking to the wounded guy, he would have told you of a person who was sniping the bridge, and that's how he got hit. So you didn't, but you did spot him on your own, but not before the shot actually gets fired. But because you did spot him, I'm going to allow you guys to have cover, and now I'm going to randomly select one of you 3 people to be the target. And we're going to see what happens. Oh, let me state it first. 1 or 2, it's Jay. 3 or 4 is Frederick. 5 and 6 is Jonesy.
Who has 2 thumbs and doesn't want to get hit?
So it looks like Jonesy is going to get a shot at as he's going across the bridge. It is 2d8, and I got to roll a d6. Hold on. D8, D8, in a d6. And it's a miss.
Thank God, because I don't think I can take any more hits.
And the one shot rings out, whizzes past Jonesy, and you guys are successful. And you make it back to friendly lines.
Yay.
Woohoo!
I'm
It's pretty good for an alpha.
For an alpha, yeah, it's pretty good. I think the game shines in not so much a one-shot environment.
Yeah, this is. I could see this being a long, drawn-out campaign with injuries
Yep.
and people going back and get healed and briefings and debriefings. Give you that whole militaristic
Because
experience.
from my because there's a whole portion on travel in the map, and the way it works is that you travel every hex is like a hex crawl. So you have encounters every hex, right? And then your role playing takes place when you say, okay, well, we need to get to the radio tower to fix something. So you do your hex traveling. It could be days or weeks that it takes you to get to this location. So that's where your random encounters take place. And then when you get to your final location, that's where the role playing takes place. You see what I mean? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, overall, it does feel similar to what I can remember of playing the original back in the 80s and 90s.
See, I've never played it back then, so I have no idea what the old system was like. Not a clue.
I actually have the box set of the original as well as the box set for the version 2 that they came out with. I can't believe I
I've
still
got
have
that
that.
one. Yeah, I've got the version 2. I lost my version 1.
See, I didn't even know about this game until like 2 weeks ago when Jolly was telling me about it.
Yeah,
Because go ahead.
the big difference I was going to say from what I remember in the past is the ammunition. I believe in the original or even the version 2, you had a choice that you could go like it was like single shot, semi-auto, or like a 3-round burst kind of thing.
Yep.
So you were doing like a 3-round burst, not I just fired 18 rounds out of my 30-round magazine. Or you could go fully auto. And I don't remember how it calculated ammo in the fully auto mode, but the ammunition was a little different, but it did use hit locations and stuff like that.
Yep. See, this is to me to me I felt like you feel like you're playing a board game. In a sense, like you're playing Squad Leader or Advanced Squad Leader or some game like that, where you're moving.
I was going to say this board looks like a squad leader board to me.
This is where I got the board from. Actually, I went and this is a fan built Squad Leader board that I downloaded off the net.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got the game squad leader.
So to me, I can see it being very like in the game, like you're pretty much scavenging. You're trying to get food and supplies. So your whole game is just trying to the bigger aspect is the survival part of it, and the combat is brief and short. And if you want to fight, you can fight, but you got to worry about the resources later. In a one shot, it's a little different.
Yeah, I think it would make a better campaign.
Yep.
Than a one shot.
And the modifiers.
So what was the final verdict on the? Yeah, it'd be nice to have tables of what the terrain modifiers are and all that. I mean, I've got the fire modifiers, but not the terrain modifiers.
Oh, sorry, I thought I passed it out. I got them all there.
Oh, okay, yeah, the terrain type modifiers would be good. What was the final verdict on the heavy weapons? Because I read up on that while y'all were discussing it, and I kind of missed what y'all ended up deciding.
Oh, yeah, so what it was, I was doing something a little bit wrong. All heavy weapons use the heavy weapon skill, But if you mount a heavy weapon, whether on a bipod or a tripod, right,
Yep.
you use your agility stat along as opposed to your strength stat to fire.
So really, what he should have is a heavy weapons under strength and a heavy weapons under agility,
That yeah, you can
depending on
that
how it's being used.
right. That could be the quick way of doing it. Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, see, what got me fooled up is, and I actually questioned it in the rule book in the example. They have it stating that you got to use the ranged ranged combat skill, and I forgot. I think but that's a typo. I'm pretty sure it is, but that was what was in my
Yeah, I
brain.
think. Yeah, you still use the agilities
Yeah.
ability, but you use your heavy weapons
Right.
skill.
Yep.
Because I couldn't pick up a heavy machine gun, and my range combat is a B. I don't fire a heavy machine gun at
That's
a
right.
B skill.
Yep.
I would still have an F skill at it.
Oh, just to show off something I wanted to show you guys. I'm really proud of this. This is like because I made this like the rule set with more core, all the images and all that stuff. Uh, Down in the bottom right hand corner, you see the picture of a tank of the screen.
Yeah, for the dice tower.
Yeah. If you mouse over, if you pick up a dice and go over it, just watch what the barrel does.
Oh, cool.
It shoots. It
Oh, that's
fires.
sweet.
That's my. I'm very proud of that.
Did you have to write that as an extension, or?
Yeah, I made this as an extension, right? So once I get it fine tuned to the way it should be, because right now you guys got a couple of images on the right that look like little squares, little gray squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta. That's some more core things that I never made for it yet. So
Okay.
they're actually buttons that I haven't put a button in for it yet. But once I get it fine tuned, I'm gonna ask. I'll do the same thing that I did with Coriolis, and I got permission from Free League to release the extension for the theme, so people can use the theme that I made, because all the icons on the side are pictures right from the rulebook, and the
Oh, okay.
characters and all that stuff. Right, all the art there is all pictures directly from the book. So I'll have to ask them and see if they're okay
Cool.
with it before I release. If not, I'll have to make like a generic version, right? That I can. The more core, anyone can play this without the extension. You can just play it right straight from more core, but it looks like more core then, right?
Yeah.
And I don't like.
No, yeah, I like the theme that you got.
Yeah.
I like the look of it.
But yeah,
Um,
guys.
I noticed that there's no modifiers in the lower left corner. I mean, we can type something in. Is there any way to tie that? Like if you clicked a -4, it would reduce your dice automatically?
I need to find someone who can script it to make it for me.
Gotcha.
Right? Because right now you kind of got to do it manually. The only way I could figure it out was by using the you type in your dice that you're going to roll. That's the only way I can figure it out. But it would be nice to be able to go down and put in +3. It reduces the lowest one to 0 and whatever. You know what I mean? That'd be really nice.
Yeah, that'd be very convenient if
Yeah.
it did that.
That would probably take an overhaul because, from my experience, all the rule sets use that modifier box same way, where it's removing that number from the total for the
Oh
dice
no,
rolls.
no! You can because my Conan extension that I got made, it that actually tells you how many dice you need to roll. You can put in 7 and you'll roll 7 dice.
Wow.
Yeah, it can do a
How-
lot of different things. Stream can't see the stream. Stream can't see it's behind the stream info. I don't understand, Thulu.
Maybe they can't see the tank.
Oh, okay, sorry. The tank, yeah. So down below here, when I put the dice over the tank down below, the gun barrel lights up as it's firing. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see that. Do you think it would be useful, reasonable, possible for FGU to calculate the chance? Yeah, I think it would be. I think it'd be very easy for it to happen. I just don't have the skills to do it. So I gotta bug some of the people who make this stuff to see if they can help me out. But yeah, I would love to have that modified. That'd be so much easier. What I would like to see is that you have all your skills listed the way they are, right? And you click your skill that you're going to use, and then you put in your modifier, and it automatically does it for you. I think that would be nice. Oh, you can't see it on my screen. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got you. I see what you mean now, Thulu. What it is, there's a picture of a tank, and when you put the dice over it, the barrel flashes like it's shooting, and then it rolls in your dice tower. But that's, yeah, sorry, my thing is there. Maybe I can hide it. Let's see. There you go. So now, when I put my dice over it, you'll see the little light show up on the barrel as it's shooting. Thank you. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. So yeah, I think this game here, for one-shots, you're not going to get the same... It's going to feel a lot like a board game, more so than a role-playing game. But if you play it as a campaign, then you're going to get the better feel of it overall.
Yeah.
Because I want to play this game as a campaign. I want to get a group of people to play this as a campaign. Like, I think it'll be a blast.
Oh, when you're ready, count me in.
All right.
Yeah, I'd definitely be interested.
Because then everyone will make their characters. It'll be like the whole... you got to buy into it then for the survival of the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just have memories of playing this 30 years ago, and the campaign I was in, our group, we set ourselves up as warlords in this area in Poland, and the whole thing centered around that. It was really fun.
Yeah, like I said, I've always wanted to play a game like this, and I didn't know Twilight 2000 ever existed until I saw the Kickstarter, and I was like, oh my goodness, this looks cool. And yeah, so for a campaign game, I'll be all over for running this one. Thanks, author. Appreciate it. Glad you stuck by and watched. Thank everyone who stopped by and watched. I got 6. Wow, I got 6. I got a record. This is my 6 viewers in a stream. You guys are number 1. Thank you so much. Ridiculous.
What's the extra 6-sided dice that's plus and minus?
That's like for some games that require do you pass or fail. It's like
So that's a more core dice. It's fate dice.
Yeah, yep. Like if you put in a 1 and roll 1d1 in one of your skills, the dice looks like it gives it like a weird symbol, right? So to the viewers that are actually watching, if you click on my About Me page there, down below, I got the links to some stuff that I support. I'm in the Conan, and I buy all my stuff through DriveThruRPG. So click on the link, and if you're ever looking to buy some stuff, there are the places to go. I can't recommend it enough. PDFs all the way for us COVID virtual tabletop people. But anyway, I'm going to end the stream. So, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
I just realized if we logged into the stream, we could see what he sees.
And they heard that. Now they know the secret.